All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I am doing good. I can say that you guys are all lucky that you're there and not here, because I gotta say it smells in here right now, and that's my fault. I went for I've got these shirts, and I love these shirts because I earned them running these really hard Spartan races. I've got a couple of them, and they're very comfortable, and they're just weird shirts in that somehow deep within the fibers they've imbued every sweat molecule that I've ever sweat into them, apparently, because when you take them out of the wash and they smell fine, but soon as you get them sweaty again, it reactivates it and they stink.
the true DNA comes out of the shirt.
They are. So I'm sitting here in my own stink thinking, actually, I probably need to change this shirt. But anyways, but I earned it this morning. Did a good 80-minute run. So, keep up the practice here. So
that is awesome, man. Love to hear that. So yeah, guys, good morning. Good morning. Let's get to our gappers list, which I actually have not brought up yet. So let me bring this up right now. Over at tradingterminal.com, you can click on there, click on scanners, and you'll get this beautiful list of what's moving up and down this morning. So as you can see here, a couple of stuff in the green. TIVC up 172%, so we'll see what's going on there. MLGO continues to make an appearance on our gappers list every morning to the upside today, and some other ones that we know very well, BABA, CleanSpark, STM are on the list this morning, so we'll dive into that. And then on the downside, we have VZ, VZ, or T, AT&T. This Verizon? Is VZ Verizon? Yep. Okay, there it is. So telecommunications down this morning slightly. We'll look what's happening there. All right, before we jump into all that, let's get to our U.S. economic calendar and what's going on today.
Well, look, there's no actual economic announcements happening today. What we really have is a whole lot of Fed speakers hitting the road and getting their message out there. Probably not surprising. We've heard a lot about the Fed, but from the administration. Trump has been throwing a lot of shade there on Powell and suggesting that he needs to get fired. He's a little frustrated because the Fed will not reduce the interest rate, which, frankly, every politician wants the interest rates reduced because a reduction in interest rate usually spurs business growth, and that's what they love to be able to, trumpet that they've delivered. So I get it, but one of the mainstays of the U.S. economy is the fact that they've got an independent Fed, and that brings a lot of stability to the U.S. market. And frankly, I honestly believe it's been one of the cornerstones of the U.S.'s economic strength around the world, and the willingness of other countries to invest in the U.S. is that independence of the Fed. So, it's a dangerous game that's being played there. However, I don't know. I hope nothing is going to come out of it, but we'll find out. What I'm willing to bet is with all of these Fed speakers out today that they've all got one message, which is we will continue to maintain our independence and we will maintain interest rates for as long as we think we need to. So I'm willing to, I will put $100 on the table that they are all spreading that message strongly. So anyways, as you can see, speakers going from 9:30 to 2:30, they're out there, they're spreading the gospel. So other than that, nothing, no economic events. So we do continue with earnings. We've got some this morning that we're going to talk about. And then, we have some after the close that we will actually be doing a special edition show for you, live trading show from about 3:30 through till, probably about 4:30 or so. We'll see how much action there is on these earners that are happening, the earnings announcements that are happening after the close. So, but we'll get there a little bit later. So, but for this morning, yeah, we got some stuff on the gappers list, and we've got some earnings to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's jump right to it, friends. Let's jump right to our gappers list this morning and start going through some of the stuff on here. So the first one on here is going to be TIVC, and this is up 170, 163 now, so dropping a little bit. Let's take a look. TIVC on what is going on here. So this morning at 341 was the low of the pre-market. Right now we're sitting at 920, 930, as high as 1090 on this thing. So Peter, obviously high flying this morning. What's the news on this one?
Well, TIVC's got some good. This is TIVC Health Systems. I assume I'm saying that right. TIVC. Anyways, they interestingly sent out a press release that they had met with the White House and the FDA and secured positive interest in potential military and defense applications for some of their products. They've got one of their key products is this TLR5, and which is a nerve stimulation drug that I guess, this is super soldier stuff. So, all right. I know this stuff is as cool as it is terrifying. So, but anyways, they're moving up this morning on the news that they might get some interest out of the U.S. defense programs, and I don't know what to think of this. It is I was going to say it is a low float. Yeah, it's definitely a low float. We're talking about 600,000 shares. This is a tiny company with $2 million market cap. So I don't. Look. Who knows? We've seen some interesting movement from low floats over the last couple of days. So why not? If you like the low floats, you might want to look at TIVC.
Yeah, we have seen some high flying ones for sure. This one going for the high of the pre-market now, as you can see here. So again, very, very active. I'm going to have it on my list as I had UPXI yesterday, right? Same thing, entertainment purposes only. As you can see here, went up all the way to 21 and then slammed down. Actually, where is that? Yeah, here it is, up to 22 something, then slam back down. So I'll keep it on here, but again, not something that I'm going to be actively trading, but it's fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. All right, so let's look at HOLO. So next one on there, Micro Cloud Hologram. So Micro Cloud Hologram, interesting name. And these guys are up 41% this morning, 1.3 million shares traded at the moment. I don't see where that volume is though, pre-market. It doesn't look that clean to me, Peter, so I'm not sure about this one. But again, they got some volume this morning. They're making their way on the scanners. What's the latest and greatest?
I have no idea what's going on with this. This is a Chinese electronic component company. I don't really know what they made. Sounds like anyways, Micro Cloud Hologram, right? Like global leading holographic technology provider. I don't know to who. I don't know. Anyways, they've got like all sorts of different applications. Looks like it can be used in vehicle systems. They've got I don't know, a number of products here. I'm just looking at their website to see what it's about them. But they have no press releases. They have no news. I'm not sure what's going on. Like you said, tough to find the volume. Moving on. I don't know. They seem scary.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. And even the pre-market, like you can tell, there's just I don't see that 1.3 million shares traded. It's starting to look better since 8 o'clock. So you are getting better activity there, but for the most part, I'm not a fan. So yeah, let's move on to the next one here, friends. The next one's going to be MLGO. We have seen this on our list plenty in the last couple of days. Been up or down. Today they're gapping up 6%, 1.8 million shares traded. Hard to borrow on this one. At the moment, did get a nice bounce back day yesterday. So slight bounce there, as you can see.
They moved yesterday.
Yeah,
we were watching it. Carlos, you and I were watching it halt at the open. But it got to move all the way up to about 1650. I think is where it spiked high. I don't know if it actually touched 16. Yeah, it did touch 1650 before moving all the way back down to close somewhere around $11. So it's I don't know. It's in play. I don't know what else to say about it other than that.
Yeah, it's a scary one though, man. I'm not gonna. We were watching it, but again, it wasn't on my list to actually trade, so I probably won't have it on my list again either. So your call if you guys want to watch it or not. But again, it's not something I'm gonna trade. Let's look at KC's next on here. So KC, this is ugly. So we got a gap up of 4.1. Just one candle with 421,000 shares traded, sitting right over here at 8 a.m. I don't think this is in play. Kingsoft Cloud Holdings. So yeah, I don't see anything on here. This could just be some transactions being posted, triggering the scanners, but I don't see this in play, Peter. I'm not sure if you have any news headlines out there might be worth looking at.
This is another one of these mystery Chinese companies that sometimes they pop up here with mystery volume, and it's a mystery company. What do they do? I'm not sure. They're a software company out of China. Like you said, doesn't even look interesting from a chart perspective. The company doesn't seem interesting. I'm not putting any money behind it.
Yeah, same here. Gonna move on again. Just doesn't make sense the way it's looking at as far as the intraday action right now in the 5 minute. Going back to our list, we do have TEVA. We used to trade this a ton actually back in the day. So it is up 3.7, 510,000 shares traded on the daily. Here you can see they've been somewhat trying to find some kind of level of support here. Looks like 1350 we'll call it has been an area where they found some bounce here, but right now they're up 3.7. I don't see anything significantly in play this morning. Again, I think it's just a bounce from all the selling they've been doing recently. So again, nothing good here, at least for right now, Peter. I'm going to pass on it.
Yeah, every once in a while, this one will pop up. I had traded it once, like 2017, 2018. Well, not once. I traded a few times back then, but it really has not been a great trader. I've been watching it off and on for years, and it's very, very difficult to trade. It's an Israeli drug company. With all the tariffs that the U.S. is posing, is putting on things. It is interesting that they actually have an upside business opportunity. So there's a little bit of talk about that because the Trump administration is creating opportunities for foreign companies to sell outside of the U.S., right? So as there's retaliation back and forth between the U.S. and everyone, if you're a non-U.S. based large drug manufacturer, then you can largely avoid those tariffs. So Teva is one of them. They're one of the larger drug manufacturers that are outside of the U.S., and as such, they could take advantage of this by sort of stepping sideways, sort of just bypassing some of the tariff conversation. So there could be upside to this, but again, doesn't mean it's going to trade well intraday. It just may be a longer term play depending on what happens in a macroeconomic perspective.
Yeah. So again, won't be on my list, guys. I think there'll be better stuff to look at. I know we have a much quieter gappers list, given what we've seen over the last week or so. Even yesterday was pretty quiet. Yesterday was pretty leveled out as well. A lot of things were not gapping down much or up. But we'll see. We'll see what else is on here. Baba is next. So here it is. Baba this morning. We are up 3.7. We got some good volume on this one. 3.7 million shares traded. And you can see here the activity in the pre-market, not great. But I do like the daily, right? I like the way this daily's setting up here. So I do like Baba today for my list. And again, it's one of the stocks that I like to look at. So when I get a chance to add it on my list, I sure will. So I'll put them on here today. Peter, this is some new, I saw a couple of headlines from Baba. Which one is the one sticking out today?
Look, they are fairly well positioned themselves because they largely, they're Chinese based and don't do business in the U.S. So they've been fairly resilient here with all the tariff news. I mean, obviously they've dropped with the market. It's almost inevitable that a company do that. Especially, they're not completely immune, of course, from this whole conversation as the countries that they're working within are fighting. But I'm not sure what headlines you were specifically talking about because I don't see any real news. I mean, there are a couple of things but them being very well positioned in the Chinese market, and they're looking to actually capture a bigger market share and looking to expand across Asia and Europe. But other than that, I mean, that feels like they've been talking about doing that for years now. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing I saw. There was a couple of new headlines, but with the same news, nothing new as far as that we haven't heard of before. So again, they're moving up here this morning, and I do like the volume up 3.7. We'll see where this goes here. All right, let's continue. Next on the list is going to be Clean Spark. So I see Clean Spark. I don't see the rest of the gang here, the Maras, the coins of the world. Only Clean Spark is up this morning, at least on the Gappers list, 3.2. With almost 500,000 shares traded. But man, this daily, I mean, this whole stock is just bad. I mean, anybody trading this? I mean, this just looks ugly. I mean, this is, I don't know. I think it's the worst trading one out of all of them. Again, unless you're scalping, it doesn't move a lot. I mean, this move here you think is great. It's probably like 70 cents. I'm not a fan, Peter. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan. I mean, I think the reason why they're on here and no one else's is just there's some specific news that BlackRock, they've got a lot of institutional holdings, right? A lot of companies, almost 500 different large companies have taken stakes of various sizes in CleanSpark. BlackRock is one of them, and they actually increased their holdings from about 19 to 43 million shares, owning now about 15% of the company. So that's a vote of confidence, I suppose, in the long-term prospects for CleanSpark. But that's just investment news, not real actual business news. And again, probably not going to be creating a trading opportunity for us on CLSK.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. We'll skip on this one. Let's go to STM, and then our good buddy PLTR is down there, so we'll check out what's going on there. But STM making our list here, usually not the greatest stock to look at. There are other ones when this sector's in play. There are other better ones to look at. So this morning, again, pre-market just looks brutal. They probably won't get volume into the market open anyways. Like they have done some really good trading. We saw that a couple of times here. They had some really nice days. So we've seen them trade well before. But again, they're few and very far in between those good days. So not inclined to put this on my list, Peter. I don't think today will be any different.
Nope, I think you're right on that.
All right, let's go to one that we like, and actually has been, again, it's so explosive. This stock can go from being really bad to being really good one day to the next. And here it is, PLTR, already with 1.2 million shares traded, so we got some good volume on it. It is up 2.3 here. And again, just very explosive stock that we get a lot of opportunities on. So we'll be on my list today, Peter. What's your thoughts on it?
PLTR is always a good bet. It seems to be moving very well recently, and I like watching it. No specific news on it today. They just have entered the realm of those stocks that are in play all the time. For a brief period, we had some of the quantum stocks that were there, but PLTR seems to have a little more staying power. So, yeah, worth watching. Just if you're watching, your sort of normal slate of favorites.
Yeah, and man, what a drop! If I would have just listened to you yesterday on my tray here, look at this drop, Peter. Goes down to.
I wasn't gonna point that out, but I did notice it.
Yeah, you was thinking about it. I felt the waves, the electrical waves. Were telling me he's thinking about it. You better bring it up before he does. And I'm like, all right, let me do that.
Look, you get credit for actually entering the trade. You called it out. I saw it there live, and I didn't pull the trigger. So you know what? I mean, and there was no reason not to. It was an excellent setup with a good probability of success, and sure enough, it worked fantastic. So I did have a lot of Romo on that one.
Yeah, we look at the positive side. It's funny, like I had a great trade, right? I think I took everything out here, and then you get this. It's like this is like 3 times my trade. So awesome. But that's usually how it happens. All right, so PLTR on the list today looks good, and again, it just could trade very well. It could be choppy at times, but it can be so explosive. So that kind of covers our gap up this morning. KC, did we look at that one? I don't think we did.
Yes.
Yeah. We did. King's this is the nest. Yeah, this is King's. Yeah, this is horrible.
Or whatever it's called.
Yeah, no good. All right, Peter, as far as gapping up, anything that you like that might not be on this list this morning?
A couple of earnings that I wanted to mention. We have actually a trio of aerospace and defense type companies: GE, Lockheed Martin, and RTX. All reported this morning. GE and Lockheed Martin are gapping up. RTX is actually gapping down this morning, but they all beat their numbers, as you would expect, right? Defense industry spending has only been going up with, we can't forget, despite all the tariff stuff we've been talking about, there is still global conflict going on out there, and that is, causing an uptick in demand for actually a couple of global conflicts. But anyways, a demand for defense spending, and these are the types of companies that take advantage of that. RTX is gapping down largely because the majority of their earnings come from aerospace, and there's a concern that spending patterns may change on jet technologies as led by, frankly, Elon and some of his comments. Will the U.S. lead the way in moving to drones? China has largely moved to drones in a way that, frankly, a lot of other nations haven't, at least to my understanding from what I've read. And that does change the landscape, right? For those that make very expensive jets, there's a lot of money in these companies in jets, right? Not only the building of them, but the maintenance of them and the training and supplies. And, the jets are very expensive to maintain. So imagine if you could field 1,000 drones for the cost of a single jet. Each drone arguably is much less effective, but it could if you get 1,000 of them to one, that sort of makes up for it. So depending on their application, but any event, RTX gap. All three of these don't trade a lot of volume pre-market. They're tougher to trade, right? Not a sector that typically gets a lot of intraday trading volume, but it's interesting that they all reported strong earnings. All three of them, by the way, have been quiet on forward-looking guidance. They either have just sort of maintained their guidance or, again, kick the can down the road. Like GE sort of maintains guidance and says, yeah, we think we're okay, but they sort of reserve the right to change their minds later. Lockheed Martin sort of didn't provide a real strong guidance outlook. But again, like we've been talking about, this is one of those rare times where you can be wishy-washy on your guidance or even pull it back and not be punished like you normally would be in the market if you don't provide guidance, because everybody understands the tariffs are just providing such a level of uncertainty that they're more accepting of that type of perspective than ever before, or at least that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I cannot agree with that more. All right, the gapping down, only two today, V, Z, and T. So let's take a look at Verizon here. Again, they're down 4.7 this morning, 1.1 million shares traded. Their earnings were this morning, right, Peter? If I'm not mistaken here.
Ooh, Verizon, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, they were.
All right, so here we are, down
Verizon
quite a bit.
reported this morning, and they had a good quarter. They beat top and bottom line. They delivered $33.48 billion of revenue versus the $33.39 consensus estimate. Over delivered on earnings per share by about 4 cents. Added $1.19 a share. So that's good. Now Verizon, basically some different companies have different numbers sometimes that are important to them. When you're dealing, when you're a telco in the US, they want to know subscriber numbers. And Verizon's subscriber numbers did not meet analysts' expectations. So while their financial performance was good, the drop in the phone subscribers is what's weighing them down this morning. And that usually is what takes them down, because that's what determines future revenue, doesn't it? Right? Those just billing plans they're like an annuity program for all these telcos, and they certainly use them to pay the bills. So they experienced a drop of about 289,000 subscribers. Well, they'd actually projected a drop, but they had only projected a drop of about 200 to 220,000. So the fact that they lost 290,000 subscribers, is worse performance than anticipated. So Verizon, again, probably one of my least favorite. That you can trade some of the telcos, actually. They're not as bad as some other segments, but Verizon is probably the worst of them. So
yeah, they're tough to trade. AT&T, what's the other one? T-Mobile. They're not easy day trading tickers. So but yeah, you're right. We have seen some action that where it can trade well. Maybe today could be one for VZ here, but I'm not sure. So maybe a secondary for me. I would like to watch it because I do like that they're gapping down here. I think their pre-market activity does look decent. We are getting some movement. We do have some volume. Gonna throw it in the secondary. We'll see what we can get out of this one. Heading back to our list here, friends. Let's take a look at AT&T actually. So here's T. Another one also dropping down. Is this sympathy move, Peter, or they have something going on too?
I think it's just sympathy because their earnings have not come out yet. So, and I don't really see any news with them. So, I think their earnings come out Wednesday morning. So tomorrow morning. Yeah, I think it's just sympathy.
Yep, agreed. Ben, good morning to you, man. No worries. Good morning to everybody on YouTube. We're having some good conversation here, checking tickers and some other stuff as well. And yes, we are going to be live on Tesla earnings tonight. So for sure, 3:30 we come on live on YouTube and in our chat, and then we'll go to about 4:30. And Peter, are those earnings right at 4 for Tesla? The actual release? Do we know the time? We'll take a look and see where we stand there.
That's a good question. For Tesla today, what time are their earnings?
All right.
Hold on a second. 4:10.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll be sticking around for that, guys. We'll watch the release live and we'll call it out and see how Tesla is towards that earnings report. Speaking of Tesla, guys, these guys are up actually 1.3, 1.8 million shares traded. So they're climbing a little bit higher this morning. And again, their daily has been holding here. They found and I don't want to say good, but they found an area of support, right? I mean, you could tell here since March, we've been slamming into this around, we'll call it 224.50. It might be higher, might be lower. But they found some support here, Peter. And every time they get here, they seem to get some energy and go back up. So not saying that's going to be the case today, but clearly this is a price where people like to buy Tesla at. So I'm going to have this on my list, guys. Always fun to watch, always active, always great intraday ticker. I'm sure you will as well, Peter.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I watch them every day. Usually going into earnings, like when you have earnings after the close, the day price action is a little muted. It's a little more quiet. So we might not see a lot of movement, but even a small movement on Tesla can provide trading opportunities. So yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on. And there's a lot of varied expectations. I mean, we might actually see a little more interest in it today just because nobody quite knows what to expect. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of different outlooks, I guess, from the analysts. There's a consensus, but the range is a lot wider than it normally is on what they're going to announce, right? How well have they done? What does their performance look like? What are they going to do about their forecasting guidance? So we'll have to see. Again, keep in mind, Elon's been suspiciously quiet over the last couple of weeks. Really sort of stepped back from the limelight quite significantly, right? And that's that to me tells something. So yeah, there is a very wide range, just as David Ball is putting here on YouTube. There is a very wide expected move. We were looking at it yesterday. I think Jared was mentioning it's about 10%. David says 11, like 10-11% move. That's pretty significant. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, right? So stay tuned.
Yep, absolutely. So definitely be on the list, guys. I added it here on my main list as well. So I do like Tesla, obviously, this morning. And I think anything else? I think that covers it. We have this WMB. What is this coming up on the gappers list? Williams what? And it's really not in play, actually. I don't know why it's coming up in the gappers list.
WMB. Williams Co.
Yes.
Oil and gas company. Yeah, oil and gas companies never trade well. So I don't know what's happening, but I don't care.
It looks like they just got some transactions posted, and it's just trade them to come up on our gappers list, but they're not really looking good here. All right, Peter, we'll go to you. What else do you like this morning that might not be on here on the gap down? And then we'll take a look at some of our usual suspects that I see. Some of them are actually moving. They might be hitting our gappers list shortly. Like you have Tesla, you have some other ones moving nicely. We'll talk about this in a second. But yeah, Peter, what do you like?
Well, I mentioned RTX, which was one of the earners that had reported this morning that is gapping down as part of the trio of aerospace and defense companies. Another one that had earnings this morning was 3M, but they're gapping up. Let's see, what's gapping? Halliburton was the other one that was sort of part of that. I guess, I mean, they're defense too, right? Halliburton was was gapping down this morning. Terrible trader. So yeah, not much to talk about there. Interestingly, that across the markets, a lot of green compared to yesterday when we saw a lot of red on the screen, and our market indexes were gapping down significantly. We're gapping up by about 1% today, and things are looking a little rosier than they were yesterday. Now we have to keep in mind we gapped down yesterday and then continued farther down. So we have a lot of downward room to recover, I guess, just to get back to where we were Thursday, right? The last trading day before the weekend. So yeah, we could see some significant move without it being really significant in a bigger perspective. So I'm hoping that means that we're just going to get good trading opportunities today. So largely, again, we're looking green in pre-market. I don't make any assumptions as to where the market's going to move, of course, when the opening bell rings, but it's good news, I guess. We may as well start with good news, right? Feel good about it.
Yeah, I agree. Why not? Why not? Let's start with some positive news, and a lot of green right now on the screen of the stocks that I like and I'm watching here. So that is a great way to start. All right, let's take a look at what you guys like this morning. So far on my list, I have BABA, PLTR, and Tesla. And I got Verizon on my secondary list, and we'll see what else we can add on here. So let's start checking these chats and see what you guys like this morning. We'll start on our chat. Brian and Baba and JD's got great volume. Yeah, I agree. Baba's good volume today. JD, good volume. Not gapping up as much as Baba is, but it does have the volume there, and these two tend to move together. But again, I'm going to go with Baba today. Look at the move on Baba right now. I mean, this thing is just doing it. It's and I had a great day yesterday too. Like after the initial drop, it did recover pretty nicely into the close. So I really like this ticker today. I think it's time for us to start trading BABA again. Hopefully, let's see. Let's check what else you guys like this morning. Steve, AVGO. I don't personally like AVGO, Steve, but man, it can trade well. I've seen you guys take some really amazing trades on here. Excuse me. It does require a different style of trading. I think you got to be a little more patient. The spread at times, it could be scary. So you got to make sure you check out the spread before you jump in on this one. And not every day is going to be great. Like they really have some really bad days. But when they do get going, they can trade really nice. The key here is volume, right? So Steve, you're going to be watching this one. Anybody else, just make sure you got the volume and the setup is there. And it might not be explosive right at the open. You might need to wait a little bit. So yeah, we've seen Broadcom do some stuff. It can trade well, but again, it's not the easiest ticker to trade. So just be mindful of that. But I like the setup today. Possible breakout towards the most recent highs there on the daily. Checking what else we have. We looked at BABA from our good buddy Brian. EM, is that a ticker? EM, or you mean emergency room? You mean emergency room, because this is definitely not a ticker. If you got to go to the emergency room or something, I don't know what this is, but yeah, this is pretty bad. Brian, I want you to redeem yourself. What else you got for me, man? Send me another one. In the meantime, let's take a look at PNBK. Let's see PNBK. Oh my goodness. All right, another person needs to redeem themselves. We'll give you another shot a little bit later. We'll come back to you. That looks brutal. Let's take a look at TIVC. All right, let's this one we have looked at. It is in play. I mean, look at the moves here. Did we make a new high recently? We did hit up 1345, then we dropped again, and we're trying to come back up here. So let's see. I mean, this stock is in play. I have it on my list here as a fun stock to look at today. What's the float on this, Peter, by the way? Do we have it handy?
I think it was like 600,000 shares.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, yes, 620,000 shares.
Yeah, that is tiny, guys. So I will be watching it as entertainment purposes only off the screen here, but it won't be on my banner at the bottom. It's just, I'm not going to be trading it, but entertainment purposes for sure. All right, let's take a look. What else we have here on our YouTube? GLD. All right, so GLD, is this, remind me, is a gold ticker? Yes, it is the Gold Trust. I mean, this thing is hot, all-time highs, right? Gold is reaching all-time highs. This thing is on fire. As far as day trading it, I mean, I never really day traded any of the gold tickers or any of the metals, right? Not just gold and the other ones. I just never have. So I don't know how well they day trade, right? Is anybody day trading this stuff, or are there you guys swinging it maybe with options? I'm not sure how you guys are doing it, but for me personally, I usually find better things to look at, right? This just tells me that we're in some very interesting markets, right, when it comes to the value of gold against the dollar. But for the most part, I think I find other things to look at. Peter, not sure. Have you ever traded gold or silver or any of these other coins or metals?
Sorry,
Peter might be on mute.
Yeah, I am. No, not. I mean, yes, I have, but not intensively. I've only traded them incidentally. So,
Okay. I
uh,
see Harvey says he has traded them a couple of times and has some clean moves here and there. Okay, I mean, just like anything else, right? There probably is opportunities, but I just think my strategies work best elsewhere. So, but for the most part, to the point of why you mentioned this one, it is in play, absolutely. I saw the headline yesterday that they're hitting all-time highs as far as prices go, right? So, I mean, it is on fire. You're giving us Mara, SMCI. Go ahead, Peter.
no, I keep going. I just random. Anyways, never mind. People,
No, we
people
got
were
time.
mentioning this. Did you look at this PNBK? This
I
Patriot
did. I
National.
ran
Yeah,
PMBK.
it doesn't look like a good trader. This Patriot National Bank, I've never heard of it. It's
Yeah.
one of those regional banks in the U.S. I think they're Connecticut based, but anyways, they did have announced that their CEO is leaving, and they have a $50 million private placement. So that's good news. What was confounding me, or was interesting, is that they in the article, I assume they're Connecticut based because they put a picture of the Connecticut. Um, uh, Capitol building, and I just it doesn't. I guess what do you think the Connecticut State Capitol building looks like? Just picture it in your mind. It's Connecticut,
I
right?
think it looks
What
like
do
a two floor building.
yeah. What so
Is that if I'm right?
this is apparently the Connecticut State Capitol building. Like if you told
Oh,
me Georgia State Capitol or Alabama, or I don't know. It just feels like a southern Louisiana, maybe. I don't know. It just didn't look like a Connecticut state capital. I was expecting a gray-ish, nondescript building for Connecticut more.
yeah.
I'm not sure why, but
It
anyways,
looks nice though.
just
Looks
random.
better than I
Well,
was
there you go.
picturing it.
Was that?
Yeah. It looks nice. It looks better than what I was picturing.
Yeah, that's definitely much prettier than I was expecting. So, anyways, there you go. There's the Connecticut State Capitol building, apparently. And if you live in Connecticut, you probably already knew that, and this is not news to you. But, anyways, it
Yeah.
was news to
Like
me.
a little mini White House over there. Lawrence says we are fancy in Connecticut. No, no doubt. I could tell.
Yeah,
I could tell
I
you guys
just
doing
didn't
it
think
right.
the state capitol would be a fancy building.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look here, guys. What else we have? Let's look at Amazon. Someone mentioned Amazon, and yes, I am gonna have Amazon on my list. It can trade very well, so I will throw it on a secondary. I don't see anything that's sticking out at the moment, so secondary list for now. I saw someone earlier mention Apple was up 2%, but they're not. They're only up 1%. So not sure where they got the 2% from, but I see it up 1%, no volume. I mean, I don't see really much going on there. Nvidia, it's got the volume 6.6, up 1.4. Again, very similar to almost all of the Magnificent Seven. Slight gap up, some volume, but nothing significant right now in the pre-market. So that might change after the market open, the volume comes in, the overall market decides what the sentiment is going to be for today. Are we going to bounce? Are we going to try to retest some of these lows towards that 86.90, or are we going sideways? So who knows? But Nvidia is a good one to watch. I will put it on a secondary for now. I can always move it up later just in case anybody else has something good to look at. FSLR, I see a couple of people throwing this one on here. We haven't looked at this in some time. First Solar.
no.
What's the news, right? You might be looking at this because there's got to be maybe some news on it. It is up 7.6 right now. The volume is so light on this thing, guys. Less than 200,000 at the moment. So this is why it hasn't really attracted our attention. Let's go back to yesterday really quick and see, has it been doing anything? Yesterday sold off
Um,
with light volume. I don't know about this one, Peter. Not sure.
yeah, I'm surprised to see it moving higher here. I don't know. I mean, the only news I'm finding is that as the Doge is still out there doing its thing. And apparently, the Department of Energy is looking at about $10 billion in cuts of their federal funding, which mostly is going to be taken out of clean energy products. As we know, the current administration much prefers oil and coal. So Trump has been very vocal about that. So yeah, for clean energy projects not expected to fare well for the next couple of years under a Trump administration. So the companies like First Solar, they need some of that support as they continue to try and drive their business models. So but they haven't really been in play, Carlos. So I'm looking at the average trading volume. They only trade about 3 million shares on average, and that includes days where they spike up to about 8 or 9 million shares. So most days you're talking about 1 to 2 million shares here. It's tough to trade with that low of a volume.
Yeah, yep, agreed. All right, friends, let's stop here. I'm gonna add some more to this. Only right now, Baba, PLTR, and Tesla at the moment. So we'll add some more here. Got a couple of secondary stuff, but let's get to our announcements and see what's happening there. We do have the full schedule for you guys. If you want to check out the full schedule, if you head over to our chat, you can click on before you enter the chat room or any webinar, you can see the entire schedule for the week, right? So I know the main schedule is having a little bit of some fixing to be done here, but Peter, here we have the schedule for today.
Yeah, sorry, just before we get there, thank you for the article. See, this is why it's great to have a chat room. You get people that support you. Manfred just sent an article that, my God, the U.S. trade officials are preparing to impose tariffs on solar panels of 3,521%. Okay, I mean, at what point does it become ridiculous? 1 billion %. Anyways, so I'm not sure if First Solar actually, maybe they manufacture some locally. Maybe they'll actually benefit. This will create, a local solar panel manufacturing industry. But as far as I know, I think all solar panels are manufactured in China or somewhere like that. So I'm not sure. But anyways, but I just sometimes in like 3,521%. Somebody calculated that to come up with that number very specifically. But can you imagine if you were like agreed to a contract to install these on your house, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, we told you it cost 15 grand to put in those solar panels. Sorry about that. That's $150,000." Like, what? Anyways, what do you even do?
Madness, the humanity.
The humanity, yes. Anyways, all right, let's get back to our calendar events, because we still have events that are happening tariff-free right here for you. So we have our Tuesday series of webinars, which are all on strategy. They're going tonight, and tonight's session, we're going to be talking to you about the 5-minute opening range breakup. That's one that is always of interest. People love to understand that, because trading right at the open is well, frankly, it's what most people do. And I can't blame that. Now, I'm still working to, improve my ability to, to trade at the open. So, maybe I'll need to go to that and sort of get a little refresher course. That's for all of our elite members. It's 8:00 in the webinar room. And I can't remember, was that Phil or Lenny that's given that one?
Tonight's Pierre.
Pierre, not even. Sorry, my bad. Pierre, sorry about that. Pierre is delivering that. Fantastic. So it's going to be a good session. Opening range breakup trading is something that it's always good to understand how different people do it, because, you'd think, I just trade a 5-minute ORB. There are almost an infinite number of 5-minute ORB type configuration trades that you could take depending on how you perceive the market. So it's good to see someone else's point of view, get some thoughts that you can incorporate into your own trading. So that'll be happening tonight at 8 p.m. Don't forget, you can join at any time. Our chat room, variabletraders.com, is the place to go. We've got all sorts of information, seminars, a library of information. It's all there available for you. You can get it from any one of our packages. We also have intro offers that you can take advantage of, or if you really want to jump in deep, then consider this platinum. It is the best deal where you get access to not only a year's access to bearabletraders.com, a $50,000 funded account that could pay for the whole thing and make you money, but it also gives you access to our 3-month intensive boot camp. We've got one starting in just under 2 weeks now on May the 5th. So if you're interested in joining that, you can, or sign up now and take advantage of the deal, and you don't have to take it. You can defer until September, which would be our next boot camp, September through December. So either one you can use this deal to take advantage of, and it's going to be a great session, a great learning opportunity. If you've got questions, go to pcapitaltrading.com. You can get more about that. You saw our little video at the beginning. There is a ton of stuff going on every single day of that boot camp. Those 3 months, people usually leave that exhausted, but very happy that they took the course, because there's just so much information that we want to share with you throughout that course. So it is called boot camp for a reason. So, but yeah, if that doesn't scare you away and you're interested, then by all means, go check it out. So, and as I see, some of our members are already saying that they're already taking it, or they've been through it. So, yeah, feel free to ask around, right? Don't trust us. Ask those that have been through the program what they found most valuable, where they got good value out of it or didn't. It's worth understanding that. So yeah, don't be shy. Ask your questions. Get all the information you need to make an informed decision. All right, with that, let's set some levels. We're getting close to the market open. We're only about 11 minutes away. Carlos, take us through some of the levels on the stuff that you're watching. Then our moderators will get their list in, and I'll tell you what they're looking at.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, let's do it. Let's get some levels in. I got 3 right now: Baba, PLTR, and Tesla. I might as well add NVIDIA also to this list. We'll do levels for those 4, and we'll be set to go. So I'll put NVIDIA on the top of the list there as well. Just 1 second, friends. Gotta send something here. One of our members sent me an email. Hey, I think you guys blocked me on YouTube by mistake. So we're gonna try to get him unblocked today, but he must have been blocked on an error when we're getting that bot attack. One of our good buddies, Uzame actually. So I just send it over to the man here that can probably get him unblocked. So yeah, some of you guys, if you're typing here, you're not a robot, and by mistake your thing doesn't come across, just let us know. We sometimes block things in the masses, and some people get caught. We got attacked recently on YouTube, like some weird some weird gold, whatever.
You get weird stuff going on there, right?
You get some weird stuff.
Unfortunately, the bots find you. Then you get everything from the people trying to take your money trading to convincing you that you need better personal equipment to enhancement pills to all sorts of stuff. It's
wild. It's wild. A quick one before we go into this. I got a text last night from a 661 number. I'm not sure what area code that is. And the text, all it said was, are you ready for dinner tonight? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, please don't forget dinner tonight. Come to my house. And I'm like, see, I know I'm an honest man, so I don't know who this is. But what do they get out of that? If I respond back, like, are they going to steal my information? Like, what is the point of sending that message, right? To try to get me to give them something? I don't understand. So, yeah, it's a scam for sure. For sure it's a scam. I'm not responding back. But it's just weird because now they just text you right on your phone. It's just interesting.
Because all they want to know is that the number's valid. So any response will, ensure a flood of future tests. There's a lot of scams out there. You got to be very careful. If we take a minute on that, since we're talking about scams, there was one that came across sort of my inbox the other day because a family friend unfortunately got caught in it, where they're getting smarter, right? Where used to be I'm calling from the credit card company. Well, they're now actually calling and they have most of your personal detail. They will call and they say, we're calling from this credit card company. Here's your card number. We'll confirm your address, and they give you your address. They talk about a charge that's on there, blah, blah, blah. And they go through it feels pretty real. They even say, feel free to call our 1-800 number. Really, all they want out of you is the 3-digit number off the back of your card. And if they, they're really just looking for that and maybe 1 or 2 other pieces of personal data that, because they give you so much about you, they make it feel legit. So just be careful out there, everybody. Don't get caught in the scams. Be suspicious of everything. And I had my credit card actually wasn't accepted on my energy company, my heating bill the other day, and I was like, I have no idea if this is a scam or not. So I had to go check it out. Turns out this was actually legit. It's a shame, right? We can't even trust our utility companies anymore because how do you know you're not being scammed? So, anyways.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, friends. I see Andrew's ready to rock and roll. Andrew, whenever you're ready, if you log in, I'll disconnect and we'll continue doing levels in YouTube here. So
You bet.
But yeah, Andrew's ready to rock and roll, and we don't got many levels today to go through here. So okay, his screen is up, guys. So I'm gonna disconnect from chat. Trade safe, guys. We'll get back with you guys in a bit here, and we're gonna continue over on YouTube. So he just stepped away, so let's do some levels while he's away. All right, let's look at Baba. So Baba here this morning, guys. High of the pre-market right now is going to be 115.10. So 115.10. We'll slam one there. The low of the pre-market is going to be 112.45. Yeah, jump in.
I was just responding to Ian Carson. He just said, "Hey Andrew, thank you for my membership." If you remember, Ian was the one that won our giveaway last week.
Yes, he did, man.
And he's now in the chat room enjoying that membership that he won as part of our weekly giveaway. So I thought that was pretty cool that he's
it's pretty cool. I was happy with Ian won because Ian is on here every morning early, man. So when he got it, I was pretty happy about that. So congrats, man. Enjoy.
Cool.
All right, excellent, guys. We're going to disconnect from chat. We'll give time for Andrew and Brian to prepare, give you their take on what's going on, and we'll see you guys in a bit. All right, we're going to continue here on YouTube, friends. We're going to do some levels. Let me mute the chat room. Okay, here we go. So Bob, right now, high of the pre-market, we're looking at 115.09. The low of the pre-market, 112.41. So there you have it. And then towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days, doing a pretty good job. Towards the top here, we're going to slam some levels at 118.48. Seems a good area as well. And am I showing you guys the daily properly here? Yeah, there we go. And then above that, we got this nice gap up. Again, this will be a stretch if we move into anywhere into this gap that we had not so long ago. 124.86, the next level. I see that's very clean here on Baba. Next, I have PLTR, man. PLTR right in the smack in the middle of the highs and lows of the last two trading days. So as you can see here, we already have tons of levels for PLTR. Don't really need to add anything. I'm just going to add the high of the pre-market, which is being set at 93.20, and then towards the bottom, I do have the low just slightly higher above the previous day close at 91.30. So this is PLTR, again, surrounded by the highs and lows here for the last two trading days. These two guys over here, and in a tight range. Well, not that tight, but in a somewhat of a range here at the moment. We'll see where this goes. Interesting daily too. Every gap up has kind of sold off, right? It seems, well, this one's not a gap up, but it seems like they're enjoying some sell down the last couple of days. So we're gapping up this morning. Let's see what is going to happen here. Last but not least, actually two more. We got Tesla here on deck as well. Tesla also surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. High of the pre-market will slam a level at 231, 231.31, and then down towards the bottom. Actually, the previous day close is right where the low of the day is. So 227.50 is the low of the pre-market at the moment, and that is exactly your previous day close as well. Look at your 8 a.m. candle there, building that nice range. And then bigger picture, you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. You're pretty set here at this point. I'm going to check what else. Then last but not least is going to be NVIDIA. So if we look at NVIDIA here, same thing, right? Which is anytime you have this kind of drop and then bounce, you kind of get stuck within the highs and lows of the last two trading days. High of the pre-market on this one is going to be that 8 a.m. candle at the moment. It's trying to hold that 98.58. That's the high there. And then the low is going to be 97.19, which is also made up by that 8 a.m. candle this morning on NVIDIA. Towards the left here, towards the bottom, we're going to mark down some levels, 92.24, and obviously all the way down here at 87.51 for NVIDIA. If we do get higher, there is a nice level here we want to mark down, 101.60. You can see across the board here, you do have some flirting going on all these days here around that target, so you definitely want to have that there as well. Okay, perfect, friends. That is my list. Peter, let's walk everybody what the team is watching over on YouTube.
You bet. Our moderators in the chat room are getting their lists in, and they have, well, you would expect a lot of the usual suspects. So let me quickly go down the list. Thor is going to be watching Amazon and Apple. Jared is going to be watching Tesla. TIVC, I assume, for a little bit of fun there, but why not? He's seems to be trading the low floats a little bit more, as well as VRTX and Verizon. Avi is going to be watching AMD, Apple, Tesla, and NVIDIA. Brendan, Baba, PLTR, NVIDIA, and Tesla. Megan just watching NVIDIA, so she's keeping it very, very tight today. Nathan's going to be watching AMD, Bank of America, and Mara. Andrew's going to be watching Verizon, RTX, Mara, Tesla, NVIDIA, and PLTR. Lenny's going to be watching AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla, Verizon, Teva, and PLTR. I still don't know if it's Teva or Teva, but anyways, TEVA. Phil is going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, Apple, Baba, and PLTR. Mike is just going to be watching NVIDIA and his scanners. Pierre, who's doing our webinar tonight, is going to be watching AMD, NVIDIA, PLTR, and Tesla. And Brian, the birthday boy from yesterday, 70 years young. And, frankly, he looks and acts a lot younger than that. And that is an absolute compliment. He's a funny and energetic guy. He's a great guy. So if you don't know Brian, he's worth getting to know. He's a blast, anyways. But he's going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, PLTR, Baba, Verizon, and then the market, the SPY overall. So there you go. That's what our moderators have got for me. I'm going to stick to my normal list. I'm going to be watching NVIDIA and AMD. I'll keep an eye on Tesla and Apple. I'll watch Verizon and GE and this TIVC just for fun, but frankly, I don't expect any trading out of them. So probably nothing at the open. That's what it's looking like for me this morning. But Carlos, hopefully we'll get some good trades after that opening bell, and we see which direction the market decides to move in. Right now, everything looking very green. We're pointing upwards. In fact, NVIDIA is getting a little bit of a spike up right now, as is Apple. There's my alarm that we're a minute away here. So, again, just because it's green right now doesn't mean that's where we're going to go at the bell. So I'm going to reserve judgment. We'll find out together here in about 45 seconds.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's get our 5-minute chart in place here. Let's kind of switch over to our live trading setup. So we got our 1 minute, our 5 minute. And we're good to go. All right, 1 minute. Well, not half a minute to the market open. Let's see where
Just keeping an eye on gold today, which is interesting.
Yeah. Everybody's looking at GLD. I feel left out.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't see day trading it like as a momentum trade, but I suppose it's been moving so much recently. Verizon just got a spike up. That's unusual.
Yep. All right.
Here we go. There's the opening bell. And what are we getting? Early spike up here on Apple and Tesla. Oh. Very early. Don't get too excited. Again, I'm not convinced this market truly wants a strong green day, but I'm open to it. I just
I
wait and see.
Don't believe it, but we'll be ready for it. We'll be ready for it, but I'm not. I don't think that's the likelihood. We need news. We need good, positive news, and everything I look at is negative. There's nothing mainly positive for the overall market, but
NVIDIA pulled back. I got a call from my mother-in-law yesterday. I think it was right after we finished the open show here. The phone rang, and my mother was like, "Did you hear? The Pope died." I'm like, I did hear that, yes. So she was, there's a lot being made of the fact that, well, anyways, J.D. Vance visited with the Pope the day before his passing. And,
the conspiracy theories must be having a good one with this one.
The Pope also did a big address, right? And he didn't look that strong. I was at my mother-in-law's. We were watching it live on TV, and because this is her thing. It's what she likes to do. And it was he did not look strong. In fact, I don't think he even finished all the things that he was supposed to say. He did hand off to one of the bishops or whatever their
his health was in bad shape. Like it's been for some time now, right? So he had a couple of scares too. It's not the first time that he wasn't feeling well. So he had a couple of
Apparently, he was told that he was supposed to take a 2-month break, and he only took 1 month off, and because he wanted to do this Easter address. And I don't know. Maybe it was too much for him. But anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, let's watch the markets here. Nvidia had an interestingly strong pullback.
Yeah.
Tesla did an up, a down, and up again. It hasn't like I don't know. I'm not sure. I have no trades, no eye on a trade right now. I'm just not sure where things are going.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my 3 minutes as usual, guys. 3 minutes, no trading until then. Then after that, we'll see if there's any VWAP breakouts or any 5-minute RB setting up after 5 minutes. Again, the usual stuff, right? But so patience as we sit here and see where the action is. Apple's looking strong. Let's take a look. I'm gonna add Apple to my list here. I didn't put it on my list today.
Apple is.
I like
Whereas
Apple.
like Meta and Amazon are doing absolutely nothing. I mean, Amazon especially. Yeah. It looks horrible. I mean, we're only 3 minutes in, but
yeah. All right, let's see here. Hertz is on fire. I don't like Hertz, man. Hertz it's a tough ticket to trade. Yeah, today they actually are doing something nice. This is probably one of the cleanest opens we've seen out of these guys. So again, they're continuing their move higher, but they could be brutal, man. They could be so tough. But I agree with you. This is a very clean start. Nice pop. Almost $1 in. Really nice there. Wow, PLTR heading south.
Yeah, PLTR heading south. Nvidia also looking weak here, but I'm still skeptical of these directional moves. We'll see what we get. Remember, Tesla has earnings after the close today. Typically, that means that during the day, they won't move quite as energetically as it normally would.
Mm-hmm. Wow, PLTR, Microsoft. What's going on? Wait for us, really buddy. Give us an opportunity here. Microsoft, I haven't looked at Microsoft in a while. Microsoft pulling back.
Looks like
Microsoft.
Brian's trading Nvidia short, whereas Andrew tried a long on Tesla that did not work out for him.
Yeah.
And that TIVC looks like it's been halted already to the downside. Yeah. Volatility halt as it started to move lower. This thing closed at $3.50 yesterday. It's funny, if you look at a chart of TIVC, the movement at the open looks very small. Like it actually doesn't look, if you sort of zoom out especially, right? It doesn't look like it moved enough to really warrant a volatility halt, right? When you, that type of picture. But keep in mind, right, that's a movement from $13 to $10 in a matter of, a minute. And that's 30%, right? So it's, this was a $3 stock just yesterday. So, anyways, it's on hold. I think you're on mute, Carlos.
Oh, I am on mute. Sorry about that. See where the action is here. Wasn't saying much anyway. Just agreeing with you on the halts there. PLTR trying to get a pullback. Let's see. Nothing yet, guys. So looking now for a 5-minute RB, seeing what's the best setup. But we need a pullback, and some of these have ran too much. Like PLTR, we need a pullback to VWAP, and then the confirmation that it's going to be a short. So hopefully we can get that. And Tesla above the VWAP still. Let's see what PLTR does here.
Tesla did bounce off of the VWAP. There's a potential long in it. Not my trade though. Probably an Andrew type of trade. See it? Yeah, he's in it long.
That is an Andrew type of trade. Yes, it is. Look at that.
Again, and that's good. Great. That's great that this is the type of thing he trades. It still, not what I do.
I do like the 5-minute RB and Tesla. It does look really nice there. If it can hold here, so yeah, it's got potential there.
Yeah, Verizon not doing that much. I see people mentioning AT&T. What is it up to? Not much really since the open.
People are mentioning Mara. What is Mara? So, oh yeah, look at that, Mara doing something here.
Yeah, Mara, Riot, CleanSpark, MSTR, they're all moving higher at the open. Coin. So, what are Bitcoin prices doing? Is that what's driving this? Let's see. Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin's up at 89.7 right now. Yeah, Bitcoin's spiked up in the last couple of minutes here.
All right, nice.
So that's probably why they're moving up aggressively at the open.
Yeah. Taking a look at PLTR, guys. We got the pullback to the VWAP here. So this will be our entry to go short. I don't love the risk reward on this one right now, but this is usually the move here if you want to go short. But
gotta pull back towards the VWAP. It didn't quite get there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The risk to reward is not great. Would love to be closer to that VWAP. So let's see. Still got time to get up there if it doesn't sell off here.
Well, Andrew got a bounce on Tesla. Still hasn't partialed though. He's that may be. Well, we'll see. It bounced at the same level that it hit right off the second minute there. Yeah, 9:31. So I don't. I mean, who am I to tell Andrew how to trade? But TIVC, interestingly, did not reopen at the 5-minute mark, so it looks like they may be holding it for 10 minutes. Unusual for a first halt of the day normally, but again, on the first halt of the day to the downside, sometimes they will, try and let things cool off. So they do have discretion, by the way, in the market, right? They can. So 5 minutes is usually the minimum, so it'll never halt for less than 5 minutes. But after that, it could be any amount of time. Normally, it's a 5 or 10 minute halt. They keep it fairly predictable. However, volatile news halts are especially random in terms of the timing, right? They could be any time when they reopen it. Volatility halts normally are a little more structured. So I think we'll come back and revisit this in a couple of minutes. I would expect at the 10-minute mark, they may just let it open up again. If it holds for longer than that, then there's probably something else going on behind the scenes that we just don't see in the price action. Right now, the price action doesn't look that bad. It looks like it's pricing itself at $10.28. It halted at about $10.90. So the fact that it's looking to reopen lower is probably part of the reason why they're holding it longer, just trying to encourage some stability. But this thing doesn't look like it's got any interest in regaining 10.90 or 11. So, anyways. Yeah. If you like to trade these things, this is why I can't handle them, right? They're too much, too volatile for me.
It's too wild, man. Too wild. PLTR looks like a trap. Yeah, that's what we're holding on here. We're not jumping the gun until we see our setup. Again, it did pull back to the VWAP, but now it's above the VWAP, so now I gotta wait for it to come back down and close below the VWAP. So our setup is just not there for PLTR. And I haven't seen anything. Oh, look at the nice Andrew got his move here. So Andrew went in. 231.60, just right above the VF. So right in here, he went long, and he took his first partial just now. Yeah, so that's a beautiful trade for him there. It's a great 5-minute RB too, man. I missed this one. Really nice 5-minute RB setup as well as we lead into earnings. Looks like the market's deciding to go higher, so we're breaking up here. So it looks like things are heading to the upside.
But it's not very aggressive.
Yeah, it's just not defined, that's for sure.
There was a short on gold this morning. Gold has dropped. GLD, anyways, I should say,
Yeah.
has dropped, which is the gold index.
Apple could be the best one to join this party if we're going to go higher for a 5-minute RB breakout. Not the most optimal entry, but this can be the best entry to get going. I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice, man. Hope I'm not getting sick.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Adam?
I feel great, but I feel like it's like, oh no, it could be allergies. Could be allergies. We're starting to get into that season, man. Yeah. Some years it's nothing. Other years is so bad. I hope I'm not having a bad year. So, we'll see. All right, guys. Nothing from me yet, but we're actively looking to see where the party's going to be. PLTR below the VWAP now. Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
If you like the low floats, TIVC is about to reopen probably about 30 seconds from now. Looks like their longer hold has potentially worked. The imbalance number is closer to the price they wanted. They'd love it to stabilize around 1090 or even higher.
Yep.
But it was up as high as 1080. Now I see it sitting at about 1060. So I think this thing is likely going to reopen. We'll see. If it drops heavily, watch it halt again in like 15, 20 seconds. But here we go. Got about 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. It should reopen now. There you go. Just reopened. And yeah, it's holding this level so far. Let's see what it does.
Yep.
And, you know, it's interesting. This is why it's interesting to watch halt. See how we got 2 candles there? Because this thing reopened with 58 seconds, right? So 9:43:58, which means that candle only had 2 seconds of price activity in it.
Yeah, good point. It's not a fresh. It's right to the seconds too. So yeah.
Right. So, anyways, yeah, it looks like they've stabilized the price here on TIVC. Not recommending you trade it. Not recommending anything.
Yeah, don't.
Commenting
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's open. Go back to Tesla. Still slowly, especially slow for Tesla, but slowly pushing higher here. See if it can hold this. It's so slow that it makes me very nervous on Tesla because you're used to Tesla moving with a little more aggression. And NVIDIA's actually pulled back. It's right at the high of day that it set in the opening minute. Let's see what it does here. What's the high? 98.89. So the number it has to break through here. It's close. It's 5 cents away from it. Oh, yeah. See, this TIVC dropping again and halted. So there you go, as predicted. Yeah.
Like, why?
So they were able to hold it at that level for just for about a minute, and then yeah, just were no buyers left. Right?
There's so many other beautiful opportunities. Like, why are people trading this? All right.
Apple at high of day.
Yep.
Tesla, there you go. NVIDIA just managed to set a new high over 99, so got the push through. Okay, so let's see what happens. No trades for either Carlos or I. We're just watching, waiting for our opportunity.
Yes. Looks like market wants to be strong today. It is grinding higher here, so that looks pretty nice.
Yeah, Netflix strong again today. 1,042 now. It's all-time high. Was set back in February. All-time high for NVIDIA is 1,064.50. I should actually put a level on my chart there. 1,064.50. Let me put a line here. So still $20 to go, but when you're $1,000 stock, $20 is only like, not much, 2%. So
Yep. Yes, some good opportunities today, guys. But I don't know. I am slow on the trigger this morning. Tesla was an awesome 5 minute ORB. Nvidia eventually did get going here, but I don't see a great entry there though.
It's amazing when sometimes you get a trade that works for you, right? You make the right decision, you've picked the right
Yeah.
stock, you're in the right spot. I see in our chat room we've got Amir Parsa who just made a comment, and Amir's been in the room for 5 years here, so a very long time. But said, "I wish every day was this easy." And those are the type of
Yeah.
comments that sometimes can be demoralizing, right? Especially if you're struggling or frustrated. Like Carlos and I don't have a trade yet. Like
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
still waiting. So
That's
I
it.
wouldn't call today easy, but it all depends on perspective, right? If I don't know what Amir's
Yep.
trade was, but got a trade that was easy for him and that managed well. So great, that's fantastic. But your easy day could be someone else's very difficult day, and your super tough day is someone's brilliant day. So that's just
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
just trading.
That's
Just
the
the
way it
way it goes.
goes. That's the way it goes.
And it can be tough. It can be tough to manage that, right? And I mean, being in a community has so many benefits because you get support and information and so many eyes watching things. But you also have to manage that everybody's on a different scale. Like I do a survey every day, and every day 40% of our traders are trading live and have had a green day. So, but it's not the same 40%, right? So it's just the odds.
Yes, indeed. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up. It helps us out a ton. So if you are getting value from today and any other streams that we do on a weekly basis, let us know. Keep us in the green as far as thumbs up. Right now we're sitting at 200 and something, so a little bit on the lower side, but we'd love to see that a little bit higher.
And if you have questions, don't be shy. Ask your questions. Ant-Man, you're saying you've never found this easy? Yeah, it's what easy is sometimes just a state of mind or a perspective, right? Like
Yeah,
it can
it's
seem
not.
easy when
Yeah, it's
you've
not
made the right
easy.
trade decision and it works. But you could make the
Yeah,
exact same decision 5 times and get 5 different types of results, right? So it was the same level of effort on the decision. Sometimes your easy is judged based on the outcome, and that's not always representative of the work that you put in, right? And that's, again, it's just trading.
it's
But
very true.
anyways, Jonathan's
Um,
asking, why would Tesla be a great 5 minute ORB? Well, I would argue today it wasn't. I mean, a lot of days just Tesla gets good price action and movement. I'm not an ORB expert, but Carlos, do you have a perspective on Tesla? I mean, you
uh,
didn't trade it.
yeah, I today I like it, but you have to be looking at the 5 minute. The 1 minute looks a little bit messy, but the 5 minute is clean, guys. I mean, look at again. I trade off the body when it comes to the 5 minute RB. I don't trade off the wicks. Some people like the wicks. I like the body. I think it's cleaner, it's nicer, it's better. So for me, this 5 minute RB here, that's your opening range breakout. Look at the buying pressure you're getting here. So this candle opens up, slams down, moves back up. That's my entry. That's the entry there, and that's exactly what Andrew did. He got in right around this area, and then you go towards the high, at least the high of the day, right? So your risk to reward there is at least 1 to 2, 1 to 3, depending how tight you put that breakout. But yeah, this to me is a really good 5 minute ORB breakout if you're doing the body. Now, if you're looking at the wicks, yeah, I wouldn't consider that a great 5 minute ORB if you're looking at the wick. But this candle here specifically, this is the one. This is the one that gets you in the game, right? Again, opens up red, right back up. That's the buyers just taking control. And if you look at it in the 1 minute, same thing here. You see it here, bounce off the VWAP, means it's just perfect, right? So, yeah, this is it's a clean one. It definitely is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I stared too much at the 1 minute. That 1 minute wasn't as pretty.
Yeah, it's not as pretty.
A little tougher.
Yeah.
And really, your entry. So if you take the 5 minute candles look so much cleaner. Here, I'm thinking you're looking at about 9:37 if you're going to take that 5 minute ORB, right? That's really your
exactly
entry point.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
somewhere right
for
around there,
me,
957,
what I would
958.
usually would do is if I see this candle here, or I'm not getting in on this candle, I'll wait for that one to close to show that okay, we stopped the bleeding. So I'll wait for this one to close. When this one opens up and starts showing strength, I might be in somewhere in this area, just kind of anticipating the breakout, right? So some people like to get in right at the breakout right here. That's a perfect entry. But usually I try to get in a probably on this candle here with a stop below VWAP. So, but yeah, it's perfect setup, man. I missed it again today. I'm a little bit slow on the trigger. I'm not sure why, but we'll find something. Well, we got time still. Um, oh,
The,
Baba, looking
again,
interesting.
yeah, I love the comments you guys are putting in here, talking about discipline and how hard it is. Yeah, and yeah, the comments, Ray Tricks, you got a great trade on Tesla. Thank you for sharing that, and it's good. Like you know, if you saw it and it meets your strategy, then by all means, right, you can get a great trade on it. I love poker and Texas Hold'em poker, and because there's a lot of analogies in the decision making model in poker and trading, because you're always dealing with unknowns, right? You're always making a best guess as to look based on past patterns and likelihoods. Is this a potentially a good trade? And there's never a guarantee. PLTR, by the way, bouncing off the VWAP, Carlos. I'm not sure if that's a move you might like.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's got a nice little bounce here. I do like that move there. So yeah, I was looking at it. Well, not
But
sure, not sure. But yeah, but go ahead.
But sometimes you got to look at your trading. Again, I like to think of poker sometimes, especially when you have a trade that doesn't work. So the Tesla entry, right? Great trade entry. Great that it worked this time, but it might not always work. It's sort of to me like the poker analogy of like if you get aces, if you're dealt aces, you're always supposed to play aces. It is the best hand in poker, right? So,
Yeah.
but there's no guarantee of a win. You could be beat by 7-2, which is theoretically the worst hand in poker, right? Right? Because I mean, depending on the flop or what happens, because those are the unknowns that you're playing with. Does it mean that you made a bad decision to bet the aces? Absolutely not. Right? It's just the reality is you don't know what card's coming up next, and the next card or two or three, right? The river or whatever could change your mind, and it may be then a hand that you need to abandon despite the fact that you started with aces. To me that I always think about that type of analogy when I'm making an entry. The entry could look perfect, take it. It doesn't mean that it's a bad decision no matter what the outcome was. It was a good decision based on the information you had at the time. It may work, it
Yep.
may not work. You don't control the next variables. What you can do is control how you react to them and how you manage that. So think about that, right? As you're taking a trade. This is why we talk so much about understanding your strategy, trading to your strategy, and doing it repeatably over time so you can go back and look and say, you know what? Did I make good decisions or not? And you may go back and look at your journal and say, you know what? I actually made really good decisions today. I didn't have a great day, but I made good
Yeah.
decisions. That's something you should take encouragement from and you can build upon. Whereas there could be other days where you make terrible decisions but get paid for it. So you might have a nice good green day, but when you look back, you're like, how would I repeat that? I made horrible decisions and inconsistent decisions, but I got unfortunately rewarded. I say unfortunate because it'll feel good in the day, but it actually can help build bad habits. So
Yeah. Man, I love poker, and that's 100% correct. 100%. I don't play as much as I used to. But I'm long PLTR, guys. Stop loss below the VO, but I hesitated. I didn't get a great entry, but let's see. Stop below the VO. If it's going to really bounce here,
right at the
this
top
really
there.
should do it. Yeah, no, I'm off today, Peter. I feel it. I am not, usually I'm on these things, man, but today I feel it. I'm a little tired, especially after we finish the pre-market show. So there's something brewing, man, and I just hope I'm not getting sick. So that
All
would
right. Well,
suck.
you're back in the
Yeah,
green right now. Let's see
yeah,
if it
yeah.
can. I was a little slow because I was thinking maybe I'll jump in with you because I still have Romo from missing out yesterday on that trade.
Oh,
So
PLTR was good to us yesterday too.
PLTR short. So I was going to jump in here when it just a minute. Look at this now.
Yes.
I know I
Come
missed
on,
it.
Peter, pull the trigger.
No, not now. The risk to
No,
reward
no,
is
no.
horrible here. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
enter
yeah.
here. I should have entered about 15, 20 seconds ago when it was down at 92, 60, 70.
T-Man, I've been sick, very light trading today. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, I feel weird, but not full-blown sick, right? Because I would just wouldn't be on trading. But when you don't
Yeah,
feel well, it affects your trading, man. It really does. Your decision
it's
making, your ability to think quick, right?
yeah, and
It
it's
does
interesting
affect.
how that happens. Like I now I like to use analogies all the time, and I use
Yeah.
my running. All this run, I'm running, and I'm listening to the Nike Run app. Great app, by the way, completely free. I can't say I'm not a huge Nike fan person, but this app is great. But anyways, they provide good running advice, and they talk about managing your run and your psychology. And so much of what they say about running is applicable to other areas like trading and life in general. But in any event, today, I went out for a run and I actually felt really good. But every time I
Yeah.
looked at my time split, like I was really slow. But I
Yeah.
felt good.
Yeah.
I just couldn't seem to speed up today. So I thought, you know what? Don't push it, because one of the things they were talking in my ear about was about your level of what you need to do is manage your level of effort,
Hmm.
not the outcome. So don't be governed by the clock. Be governed by your level of effort. So apparently today my level of effort, I felt good delivering it. It just resulted in a much slower time than, for instance, the long run I did on Friday, where I was just flying, man, and it felt
Yeah.
effortless. So
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I just I felt like I was giving the same level of effort as I was on Friday, but today I just couldn't get up to speed. So, anyways, it's but anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes trading's like that, right? You put in the
It's a
same
lot of
effort.
things are
Like
like
some days
that.
you get
Yeah.
great outcomes, some days not so much.
Yeah. Yep. Weights are like that. When I was going to the gym on a regular basis, weights are like that. Some days you feel great, and you go in there, you're about to just tear up the weights, and your body just doesn't respond. But there's nothing wrong. It's just your body's like, today we're not gonna do the max reps, you know. So weights tend to do that. Um, all right, let's see. I'm trying to get the breakout. I know I don't have a great entry, so I can't be too picky on my partials, but I would love to get to the high of the day here. But we're at a level. This is the high of the pre-market that we're trying to break out of, 93.22. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Let's take a partial here with my pink triangles,
Oh,
as
the
you can
pink's
see there.
back.
I put the pink back. Yes,
All right.
put the pink back. I made them a little bit
Look at
bigger,
this.
so hopefully that helps, right? Looks bigger.
Now it's the second day in a row I get to regret missing this PLTR trade with you. Oh
Yeah,
well.
and actually, you called this out for me. I was looking at it, but I turned over, and then you called it out. Like, Peter's right. He knows how way I trade. Now I went back to it. Um,
Well,
so
you're
let's see.
welcome then.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Apparently, I just need to listen to myself more. So,
Yes, I agree. I agree. All
oh
right, let's
well.
see if we can hold
Never
here.
mind.
Pulling back to my break even. Again, our entry's not great, so we might get stopped out at break even here. Let's see. If we would have had a better entry, we could have survived the pullback. I sold out of my Tesla too early. Andrew's still in Tesla, and he hasn't added.
Wow, that's a
He
long hold for Andrew.
That is pretty. Let me show you guys. Let me see if it keeps. Sometimes he changes it before I can get to it. So here's Andrew's trade, guys. Look at this. He first one stopped out, no problem, right? So that one didn't work. Second trade here, man, oh man, and he's still taking partials.
Yeah.
That is a monster trade. That is a monster trade. So good stuff for him there. All right, Tesla doing his thing into earnings today. It's pretty nice. All right, let me see if we could get another partial up here. I think we're struggling to get the big break. Big breakthrough on PLTR. Tesla and Netflix going up, up, up. What was your entry on PLTR? The bounce off the VWAP here on PLTR. So you can see it here. I would have been in here, but again, today's different. Here, see the breakthrough, the pullback to the VWAP, and then this candle. This is usually where my entry is, but it was very light volume, so that's why I saw it. I kind of didn't jump into it, but then when we got the bounce on the VWAP here again, I said, okay, then this is now we're setting ourselves above the VWAP, so I got in for the long there. And the 5-minute looks great. Like the 5-minute looks very bullish as well. If you look at the 5-minute candles, I'll show you here. Again, we're struggling to keep going now, but look how bullish this looks as well. So that also helps the thought process to get into this trade. So partial already. We'll see if we can hold above VWAP. We're struggling. I'm sorry, above my entry. We're struggling to hold here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be a runaway trade like yesterday's, but
no, definitely not. Definitely not. And even the SPY's trying to put in a little bit of a struggle here.
That low float TIVC open and it's moving slower after a couple of downside halts. So
down to $8.30 now.
Yeah, but
man.
still up like 160%.
Yeah, 140. yeah. All right, so we are at my stop here, guys, at break even. I'm gonna hold it to my stop because I know my entry's bad. I won't get out of break even this time because I think it's just too tight of a stop the way I have it set up here. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more room. Let's see if we can get higher. The stop needs to be, the entry should have been much better somewhere in this area where you called it actually. But I hesitated, and where you got in with me to make this go higher.
I should have. Definitely, yeah.
Let's see.
Only myself to blame on that one. So
yeah. Let's see if this decision pays off. Usually I don't change my mind on the rules like that, but I feel like this is just such a bad entry. There might be an opportunity to survive it. Let's see. Let's squeeze Carlos. You can't squeeze. Help me squeeze me up here, huh? Well, not squeeze me, but help me. Help me help you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good stuff. SPY looking to make a new high. No, I got you, man. I know we're just playing. Gotta have fun, man. You gotta have fun. So absolutely. I get it. I could take a joke, and usually when I tell a joke, people can't take it too much depending on which way I go. But yeah, we go take it. Most of us can't take a joke. As long as you stay away from politics. If you stay away from politics, you'll be fine. If you go to politics when you start getting dicey. And try to avoid those. Excellent. All right, let's see if we can hold here. We're right at our break even. We keep dancing around, but we are struggling, and volume just keeps dying down. So that's not going to help us out. So let's see. Gonna be patient. If the market starts turning down, then I'll jump out, regardless of where we're at here. But let's be patient, see where it goes. Amazon could be a long. Let's take a look.
Could be. It's a high day right now.
High day breakout, yeah. That could be one. Tesla turning back. All right, we're getting a sell down here. All right, let's bail. We got a partial on this thing. We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna get anything else on it, so we'll jump out of it. And the volume died down pretty good too on this thing. The market is a heaven for micro scalpers. Carlos, you ran into Thor's R3 reversal. Could be. I mean, I don't got the pivot points on here. It was a good move. Like, this was a nice move. It's just my entry was so bad, man. Let's look at it for what it is, right? The entry was really bad. It could have been better. So we'll see. Tesla doing its thing. Nvidia could be interesting for a breakout if it holds here. It's consolidating right now. It's just kind of stuck in chop, but that could be a nice one. One second, Peter. My mother's calling me. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, Got to take those calls because you never know. Usually it's like something fairly innocuous, but you never know. They always make you nervous, when you have aging parents. All right. Tesla here is, I don't know what Tesla's doing. Tesla looks like it's sort of running slower at this top. It's not gone up all that much. We're only up about 3.8% on Tesla. Relatively low volume today, 71% RVol. The markets overall are the volume is lower than average. So not a surprise, right? We've had some big volume days. Usually that's when we get the announcements. I think there's a lot of market participants that are sitting on the sideline, right? They're not willing to play with their full size, just being cautious because, we're in a high degree of uncertainty. I mean, like we mentioned this morning earlier, right? When you're talking about tariffs of 3,500% on products, like obviously we're in high uncertainty era. So China's, still talking really tough with the US. I think it's dangerous to underestimate China's resolve, as one of their trade, officials said, "We've been here for 5,000 years. We'll be here for another 5. We will outlast this." Little bit of tough talk there, but it's interesting to hear it. I find it interesting, anyways. We're here in Canada going through a federal election. Another week or so, I guess, till that election concludes. I went for early voting. Always make sure you vote, by the way, in any federal election. I don't care what country you're in. If you have the opportunity to vote, you should. I firmly believe that, right? We often take for granted the fact that we live in a democracy where you have a say. You know what? I get it. Sometimes you feel like your vote doesn't count, but it counts it doesn't count if you don't make it. And it's important to place the ballot. It's just my opinion, but take that for what it's worth. PLTR, right. ABCD, yeah, like it could be. PLTR is, let's check. I got to look at a 5-minute chart here. 1 second. It keeps bouncing off the VWAP, so it's definitely getting support. This would be the third time, I would say, that it's hit that VWAP and found support there. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look very strong for me. If you look at the price action that we've got here compared to the pre-market, we haven't broken through that pre-market range, right? It really needs to break through and hold over 93.20 for me to have confidence that this is a higher move. But Mad Props, again, a strong ABCD pattern to me would be on an upward trend where you just get a little bit of pause or hesitation and then it continues the trend. This I don't see as a very strong upward trend. So that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying that it won't go higher, and it probably will, but again, measuring the risk to reward, I would look on this. You're taking almost a 50-cent risk, which means you need $1 return. So I'd have to bet this thing goes from 93 at least through 94. That feels aggressive at this, just in the way it's moving. Now watch it go and do that and prove me completely wrong. But
PLTR can do that, right? We've seen it do that so many times where it could be so aggressive. But
tell you what, Sarah, if you find me and show up at my door, I'll consider it. No promises, but sure. I actually just took it out of the garage, put the battery back in and everything this weekend for the first time. Actually, I have to. That's one of the things I have to do today. Is call because they were closed yesterday. I got to get the insurance added back on it so I can put it back on the road. It's that time of year. Becomes my daily driver.
Nice.
It's a great car. It really is. I love it. Like I just put it in the garage in the winter, put a cover over it, took the battery, put it on a trickle charger in the basement, put the battery back in the car, started it up, first shot, no problem. Right? Just simple.
Beautiful thing.
It is. It is great.
I
We
don't
gotta
see
keep.
anything where we can join this party, man. I think the market wants to keep going higher and higher, but there's nothing with a good risk to reward where I can join in on here. So uh, what I use now, man, I got a simple car. I don't know why, but I got four, I got three, four Explorers, and I got a Subaru, older Subaru. My brother, when he moved to Florida, left it here. I'm like, I will keep it. I got a big garage, so they'll big driveway, so they all fit. But I don't know why I have three. I gotta get rid of some cars, so we'll see.
3 Explorers.
I got three
That-
Explorers, man.
That's a
Red,
lot of
gray,
that's a lot
and
of Ford
red,
Explorers.
gray, and black. The black looks like is I love the black one. I like driving that one because man, it if I pull over to the road for any reason, just to check on the kids' car seat or whatever, I guarantee you people are slamming their brakes. You can see them slamming their brakes when they see it pull over to the side because it looks like
It
a
looks
police
like a cop
vehicle.
car.
Oh, it looks like a cop car, and it has all black rims, so you could tell. Sometimes when I'm pulling up behind someone, just because I'm driving a little bit faster, they pull to the side like aggressively, like they it looks like a cop car. So it's a lot of fun to drive. I lent it to a couple of friends, and they love it, man. They're like, "Oh man, I feel like a cop in this car." Like, yeah, it's got that look.
My girls were home, so they had their cars with them, and I pulled mine out of the garage because we were changing the winter tires to the summer. And I had a full driveway of cars, and it's been a while since I've seen the driveway completely full of cars. So it was good. Said I
Yeah,
own all
yeah.
these cars, but I don't get to see them.
You don't
All
drive
I
them
own.
all.
I never, I never,
Very
I never get
nice.
to drive them.
Yeah,
So
but the Explorer is a comfortable car for the kids, man. The kids love it. You know, it's a lot of space compared to other SUVs, right? Unless you're gonna get something like a Navigator, which is just ridiculously big. Um, Kids love it. All right, Bill pullback coming back here. Apple pulling back. Um, let's see what's going on. Ben,
yeah,
39 likes. No, you gotta upgrade. You gotta. It happens. YouTube will stay stuck and won't give you the newest likes. It's like 200 and something, I think. So yeah, 39 likes. I would have shut down and been like, all right, let's turn off the stream.
I always wonder what people think when they look at my driveway because I said like with the girls' home and I pulled out the Porsche, so I've got a Porsche 911 Turbo, like the big supercar parked in the driveway, and then two Kias and a Hyundai. So
Yeah, yeah.
you know what? It's just my wife and my girls, they don't care. They're not car people. So why don't I just get them a functional car that'll
That's
work?
it. Get them from A
And
to
so,
B.
my wife's got
Yep.
her Kia SUV. The girls have their Elantra and Forte. It's what they want. It's what works for them. They want low cost, low maintenance. So
Yeah.
the Kia and the Hyundai, well, the Kia Forte and the Kia Elantra, which are what my girls have. They're sorry, the Kia Forte and the Hyundai Elantra. That's the same car. It's just rebadged. So. But it's the same thing. It's like the Hyundai Palisade I see you mentioning, and the what is it? The Kia Telluride. It's the same vehicle. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. So Tesla did looks like it hit its top, short-term top here, pulling back a little bit. PLTR, same thing. So, see what I mean? Like, so if you'd taken the PLTR as an ABCD, you wouldn't have got that continuation of move. You got a nice, good 1 minute candle that set a new high of day, but like I said, you'd need a move through 94 for me to have made it worthwhile. And I'm not saying it won't get there; it could, but you just have to set your time horizon, your expectations appropriately, right? Like this may be another, you may be waiting another hour for you to get that type of move to make the trade worthwhile. So I'm still
Yeah.
sitting on no trades for the day. I don't have anything that I've seen yet that I want to jump into. AMD is looking ugly, just curling around the VWAP here, staying green, but not doing much. Nvidia is also very sort of a wimpy. It's moved higher, but not very aggressively.
Yeah. Um, T-Man, so the stuff I was talking to you about yesterday, so the question is the stuff on the BBT website free, or do you have to be a member? We were talking about the tradingterminal.com, actually, right? So if you go to tradingterminal.com, this was when Peter was talking about his mountain pass. I'll show you what that looks like here. So here is the screen. Let me show you full screen so you can get a very clear picture. Where's the full screen here? I got to put this on a hotkey because right now I don't have it. So I got to look for it. And I have like 198 slides here on this vMix, Peter. It's just insane. But here's full screen. So we're going to go to Academy right here at the bottom. So if you click on Academy, I know it's a little small, but you can kind of get the picture right over here, Academy. So click on that. And once you do that, it's going to bring you to Trading Terminal Academy, and then you're going to go to, I mean, I'm signed in, right? Because you could sign in with your Google account without having to purchase anything, just to build your membership. So you could do that. What the heck did I just do? I just closed everything. I think I did. Oops. I don't know what's going on with this browser of mine. It's tradingterminal.com. Here we go. Let's go to it again. So again, over here, we're going to go to Academy. And once you do that, again, once you log in, you'll be able to get access to everything. And, oh, they changed this. Where's the free stuff? Did they take it out? I told you guys they might be taking this out. Right? I did mention that this might not last forever, right, Peter? You guys remember that?
Yep, absolutely.
I mentioned, hey, don't wait. This might be an error. There's a glitch in the system. Looks like they found it, man. They found the glitch, guys. They found our backdoor entrance. I'm gonna sign in. Let me see if I can get in here. We talked about it so much. Should have been more quiet. This is a new website. They changed things around a little bit here. Let's see. Home. Free for. They took it out. Yeah, they got us, guys. It's no longer there. Yeah, that's where you probably can get it. So hopefully if you took advantage of it, you had it. But it looks like, yeah, it's no longer free anymore. They changed this up a little, so I'm getting used to it myself right now. What is this? Yeah. Yeah, you got to have a free premium account. Yeah, so you have to have an account. Now it's $59 a month. So they changed it. It's not bad. Still a lot of great information. $59 a month. But yep, I can see that they moved it. Funny, I was kidding about that, but it looks like I was right. It looks like that was not supposed to be free. It looks like I was I was right about that. I'll try to help you guys as much as I can, but it looks like that has come and gone. It's all right, PLTR. I think there's a breakout here, Peter. This will be a trade. I'm gonna try PLTR long. Let's go PLTR long for a breakout, and let's see if we can get
a breakout trade.
Let's see if we get a move here, man. I think it's looking nice. Let's see if the volume can get going. So breakout trade here on PLTR, and let's see if the SPY and everything else can help us. Let's see. All right, so did any of you guys get in on that when we were mentioning the trading academy free stuff? Any of you guys enjoy it for a while before they changed it? I hope you did. Hope you got in and took advantage. It's a lot of great material, guys, that BBT puts in, man. It's a lot of value. There's always more value than what you pay. I'll tell you that much. Always more value. And that's kind of been Andrew's motto with this thing, right? Just provide more value than what members are paying for. So it's nice. Gillian, excellent. All right, so since you view all the material there, what do you think? If it's $60 a month, is that worth it, or are people getting ripped off? What's your take? Peter's Mountain Pass alone is worth more than that. Now you're gonna go get everything. That's good stuff. Yeah, it is. All right, guys, we're long PLTR for the breakout here. It is paying off right now. So high of day breakout, typically not my trading strategy, but I've been looking for something else to trade, and I want to trade, and I just couldn't find anything. This is the only thing that makes sense. Let's see if it pays out. 94 would take a partial because I don't think it's going to run as it has in the past, but we need a good buffer on these things. Why market's pushing higher? Maybe because it can't go no lower. I don't know, man. I did not expect this start to the market, Peter. I'm not sure if you did, as far as the way it's pushing.
Well, I mean, I guess didn't know what to expect, right? So
yeah,
it's the fact that it's moving like this, not totally unexpected, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like we said, without news catalysts, I would expect the market to be a little quieter. We are moving higher, so that's good. We're continuing the movement that we saw, pre-market. But it's not that aggressive. So
I took two partials here, 94. Got a really nice entry there. So I took two. There's two triangles there. You can't see it, but oh yeah, I feel the same. Look at that. One's a little bit better. So there's two little triangles in there. Let's see. The market was trending up since yesterday after hours. Yep. Yeah, it's been bouncing.
Huh.
So yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
What was that, Peter? What do you?
One of our members in the room
about? Yeah.
Posted a video of a Chinese robot dog from Unitree. This all-terrain robot dog. It's pretty impressive, actually.
I think I've seen that one. Is that the one that
it's on
jumps
wheels?
up all over the place? Oh no, that's a different one. It's another one too. Oh yeah, no, it is on two wheels. Yes, on two wheels, right?
It's got four wheels, so it's got like a roughly dog-shaped body but it's just impressive how it like covers all sorts of. It doesn't matter the terrain because the combination of the legs and the wheels and the gyro balancing and it just you can go anywhere.
Wow. I saw one that was on two wheels and it was it was balancing perfectly, obviously with the gyros and everything inside, and then it jumped from like the floor to the height of this desk table. And I was like, that is impressive, very impressive.
They got all sorts of things now where they've like strapped them onto BMX bikes and the thing can ride the bike basically and do flips and stuff. And anyway, it's we're getting to the point. Robotics are getting there. The AI type intelligence. We don't have real AI yet, but we're getting there. Combined with functionality and capability of some of this. It'll be soon enough. I'll probably have a robot caretaker by the time I'm old and decrepit.
Yes. We are in for a good time, especially once the self-driving stuff gets out there. We'll be living a good life in our old age when we get there.
Yeah.
Driving everywhere,
PLTR.
No problem.
Looks like it might want to push higher. I am watching Tesla here. Tesla, again, it looked weak at the top here. I'm thinking it might push back to VWAP now. Again, not a trade I'm in. That would have been a short I would have considered, but it unfortunately pushed higher before dropping here. So
I'm going to take a partial here because we're struggling a lot to make a new high. So I'm just going to take some more off. So there's three partials so far. Again, in here, there's two just because we got such a big move. And let's see if we can get something higher. But I just don't trust that we're getting, like you said, Peter, we're not getting the usual clean takeoff on PLTR. So I just want to be a little more defensive here.
My daughter, my youngest, is convinced that she says, I can't help it. I always say thank you and please when talking to like Chat GPT and whatever AI engine that she's working with. And she's convinced that may protect her when the robot uprising occurs. So I'm like, you know what?
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm happy with it. Maybe we raised your rights, and at least you're polite. Even whether it's a human or a computer behind it, there's nothing wrong with politeness.
Yeah. Have you seen the meme where it's like the robots are like two big robots are just shooting at people, and then they point at one and say, "No, don't kill Bob. He was always nice to me."
Right.
Like,
I think my
keep him
daughter
alive.
sent
He was
that.
always nice to me.
Yeah, my daughter I think sent that through this weekend. It was going around.
It's
So
hilarious. Hilarious. Good stuff, man. Andrew had a monster day on Tesla. I mean, that was just a great trade. He caught the entire move basically. So he might be adding to this year.
it looks like he tried adding into it and may end up.
Is that an
stopping
ad?
him out,
Okay.
but
All right.
He doesn't have a lot to lose, right? I mean, it's if it goes down and stops him out, he still had a great trade. If it works, then
Yeah.
So yeah, so you were good on that partial, Carlos. PLTR rounding the top here. I do think Tesla's good for a move back to VWAP, but we'll see. It could bounce here.
Yeah. This time I will get out of break even because we do have some good parcels in here, so I'm not going to hold past the break even point as we did earlier. So we won't give our gains back.
All right. Well, we're just coming up on 10:30, which means we're heading into my trading wheelhouse. So
yes,
tough to know. Again, the moves have not been all that aggressive today, which is not wonderful for my setups. Right? If we sit mid range here, that's not great for me. Looks like that TIVC's got halted on the way down again. Yep, sure enough.
Oh man, I shouldn't laugh. You know what? There's somebody that's blowing up their account with this thing here. It's not funny, but it's just like, everybody's gotta go through a learning experience. I went through it, just trading this crap. It just doesn't make sense, man. Just be careful, guys. I mean, we tell you enough, but sometimes telling you doesn't work. You need to feel the experience of what it feels like to actually do it. So hopefully
should be reopening here.
It's not too bad.
Right now, there we go. TIVC just reopened.
Yep.
So, yeah, it doesn't look good. All right, moving on. Just noticed it here. Excuse me.
Not great. Yeah, that's been me, Peter. I've been like yawning and like, what's going on today? My mom called me, gave me a little bit of energy when she called me up. She's like, what's going on? What you doing? She lost track of time because me and her, we speak every day. And I used to call her after I'm done with this. So she's like, oh, mom, I'm still live. She's like, oh, I know it's early. I'm like, yeah, I'll call you back. But she just called just to say hi, so nothing is wrong. But
well, that's good.
Yeah, all is good. She's
it's funny.
Come pick up my daughter to go shopping, so it's nice of her.
I think that's tonight. My wife and her mom talk pretty much every day, but like my dad, I could not talk to him for like 2 months, and then I call him and he's like, "Yeah, what's up? What's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing's wrong. I'm just calling to say hi because you've never called me." Like, Anyways, he's the whole family's like that on my dad's side. I talked to my cousin, and they're like the same way. They're like, Dad won't never call me.
Yeah. Guys, I am all out on PLTR, and look at this crap. It's gonna go to the high of the day. But I'm happy with the parcels we took, especially early on. So again, 3 parcels in here, and then all out now because it did get to my break-even point. So, but looks like it wants to go higher. So we'll see. But all out. So not a blockbuster day. We had better, but green. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Man, PLTR, look at you. Just went down there to stop me out. You are ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it was tougher, right? Because you didn't have the best entry, so it made it tougher to manage. So I get that.
Same. I call my mom every day to complain about the trading day if it didn't go well. I don't talk to her about my trading at all, but she knows I trade. So what she does is she's like, she only talks about Apple. She doesn't bring up anything else but Apple. Apple went down today. You see Apple because she has some stock in Apple that I bought from her in Robinhood. So I could tell what Apple is doing just by calling my mom. She'll tell me, you see Apple went down today? You see Apple went up today? Oh, man, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
That's good. It's good to stay close to your parents if you can.
Yeah, they're definitely involved. That's for sure.
That's excellent.
All right, PLTR. Peter, for you so far, no trades, right? You haven't taken
no trades yet.
It's been
just waiting. PLTR, I like potentially a reversal to VWAP here. I want to see what it's doing. It did get some volume, a little bit of a volume spike when it hit the high of day just a few minutes ago. Now it's doing the rebound. This is my mountain pass type approach. It's not again, it wasn't a big strong upward move, which makes the mountain pass more suspect. More suspect. So I've got to be, very cautious. Like 1 penny over this high of day. So 94.25 is the current high, and I am out.
Yeah.
So, or I'm not in it, but
it
would validate the setup.
Right.
So right now it's
struggling right on there.
Around there.
But you're right. The fact that it didn't give you that like explosive move up and then down, it makes it a little bit tougher.
That's usually what I rely on. Like I know it's a good mountain pass when you get that explosive move up, you get volume at the high of day, you get that pullback and retest. Like that's when almost always I go to very high sort of win percentage on those types of trades. So if I don't get that move, that's why there's so many more sort of secondary trades that I have to be cautious with. So right now, like PLTR looks like it wants to go higher, and there you go. So there's the push higher. So mountain pass broken. Sit back and wait and see what happens next on it. Tesla, unfortunately, didn't quite give me the retest, but it is moving down to the VWAP, or at least the VWAP is moving up to meet the price. So good pattern overall. Once again, didn't give me the entry signal I was looking for to get into Tesla. So sort of regret that one, but again, I didn't get my full setup to be able to get the entry, but it is acting the way I would have hoped. It's all right. There's always another trade around the corner. If there's one thing that trading for all these years has taught me, don't panic. There's another trade out there. Just be patient. Wait for it.
Look at that. PLTR actually did get going here. I was going to go short PLTR. Peter, you saved me. Yes. That's the key right there. That if it goes above, that's a good indicator. Like anything, it's an indicator, but it's a good sign. Like it's not done. So don't rush it. But look at that. Went above there, so it is going higher. So there's still free content on tradingterminal.com. I don't know what's going on. I mean, they changed the site on me, so I have to get familiar with it. I tried going on there, and I didn't see the free material on Academy. So I just gotta let me see what the back door is. Andrew's gonna come on here and say, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. I just realized I committed to be downtown for a meeting at noon, so I guess that knocks out some trading today.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta go take a shower. I'm all salty after my run.
Yeah. Yeah, man, if you have to run, I'll wait up for Andrew. If you don't want to get
No,
going and get a head start,
I'm good.
your call.
I mean, it's
Okay.
still like an hour and a half away. I got lots of
Okay.
time.
Cool.
Yeah, PLTR, again, so right now it looks uncertain at the high, right? Look at these wiki top candles. We had sort of a shooting star right at the high of day. Like it's one of these where, to me, it's on the verge of looking like a short, but not good enough for me to want to take the trade at this point. So but I'm always
Gillian.
cautious.
Yeah,
Sorry, with these patterns, because I've learned that, again, you can see the pattern on the short-term candles, but you got to pair it with what the overall price action is. If I saw that exact pattern after a very strong move higher, then absolutely I would have gone short.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Hey,
Andrew.
good morning, Andrew.
Peter,
Just to
how are you
finish up,
doing?
like in this configuration, because it wasn't a strong move up, right? Less certain about the pullback, therefore I wouldn't take the trade. Again, this is how you build a very strong catalog of a trading strategy that allows you to understand the full context of the move and make good trade decisions. That's part of what we talk about in the boot camp, as well as, of course, through a lot of the courses at P Capital Trading, like at Bearable Traders, because we've done this for years and we've learned. Our objective is really to help people accelerate their trading journey. Learn from us. Let us share the lessons that we've earned the hard way, and get you going. So, Andrew, looks like you had a good recovery trade on Tesla. First one didn't work out, but you persevered and got a great trade.
I did. I'm feeling great today. Today is a good day. Not even you can ruin my mood, Peter.
I'll try not to.
Yeah. I messaged Peter this morning. Peter, can you please not make political comments about tariffs? How many times do you have to say that this is a sensitive issue? Please respect this political situation. Like, I don't know what to do with Peter.
Today was Raf. Raf was the one today that got into the political. Peter's been good. Raf says a gif of Trump as a pope. I'm like, oh my god, what is this guy trying to do? Trying to start up problems here, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know Peter is the liberal Canadian left side, so please don't comment.
Commenting on the market.
Yeah, just talk about the market. Like, okay, it's like the best politicians in the world, best diplomats in the world, and best economists in the world are working on it. I don't think our comments are going to make any difference. I mean, we're entitled to have opinion. I'm not saying that, but I don't think my opinion about the trades, like Scott Bessent, who is the biggest hedge fund manager in the world, is waiting for my comments to do about this. Like, yeah. All right. So we had a great trading day, actually. Oh,
yeah.
I see.
And I'm still long some PLTR here.
Oh, you're still long? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I got out.
Long some PLTR.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pullback was challenging.
It was too close to my entry here. So here's my trade, Andrew. I went long, partial, got stopped out. Then tried again for the breakout. Got 3 partials here. So there's 2 here, 1 here. And then got stopped out, Brian, like you said here. This drop was too big, but look at it go.
Yeah, maybe I should come to trade in YouTube, because it seems like it's a much better situation. No, seriously, like it's really good.
No, we're looking over, always checking you out, man. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're gonna hop off.
Yeah.
Who?
Goodbye. Avi had a really nice trade on SPY calls. So very nice, big move. He got SPY calls. Very nice. Everybody seems that. Yeah, it's amazing. Like Avi, in the pictures that he showed, he has 75 contracts left. Like already 90% of his position out. There's 75 contracts left.
Just
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, it's amazing how big the positions he takes. Wow,
Yeah.
a lot of contracts. But the thing is, I mean, if you're trading with a SPY, I mean the liquidity there is really good. So you can trade the SPY and the Qs options, and you know you don't have to worry about slippage, having to pay a big spread to get out of them if you have to. So we've got Tesla reporting after the close today. Could be interesting. And we'll be doing a live YouTube coverage. Looks like we're looking at about a $24 move.
Yeah,
Possibly that's what the
Netflix.
options market's pricing in.
Netflix all-time high.
Yeah, Netflix is ripping today. Man, that would have been a great buy yesterday. But who'd have known? We should have done. Where is Avi? I'm not sure. Avi's in the other room. What is it? A high of day?
So I'm out of Tesla, but I still have TSLL.
So what does Hood look like? All of these stocks have retraced so much. I mean, at the middle of February, Hood was trading at $65. It's now trading at 42.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, like I was $2 million richer in the middle of February. Like it's a reversion to the mean.
Yeah. Wow, Verizon is going to actually go green on the day. Had an interesting last couple of minutes in the pre-market. It really started to squeeze. Yes, we're at a R4 level, pivot level on the SPY. It's still sort of struggling to get above there, although we are definitely very slowly trending up here. Did you get out
Right,
of your
Tesla.
last bit of Tesla? Or?
Well, Tesla stopped me out, but I'm still in TSLL.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I didn't add on TSLL, I did add on Tesla, so it came right to stop me out, and now it's ripping. I still had a pretty good day. I have 30,000 shares of TSLL left.
Yeah, I've partialed a little more on PLTR. I still have part of a swing position on that as well.
Yeah, I'm still long NVIDIA as well. My average on NVIDIA is 98.47, so hasn't stopped me out yet. But it seems that NVIDIA doesn't have much of a momentum to the upside. Like today is the day of Tesla and Netflix. But I stick to my trade management rule as long as they haven't stopped me out. Yeah, SPY is reaping.
SPY is high of day now. Same with the Qs.
I'm going to add a little bit on TSLL here at 731, bringing my average on TSLL to 725. Spies ripping, Qs are ripping. Yeah, my positions are usually about $1 million worth of buying power. Like if it's Tesla, for example, what is trading at 200, like I take 5,000 shares, like it's something about usually about $1 million to $2 million worth of buying power. And my account is about 8 or 7 now. Used to be 8.
Man, look at that Tesla. That Tesla setup for this bounce was pretty pretty amazing. Right off the VWAP. That's a trade I usually like to take. Just a perfect bounce off the VWAP there. Easy to control your risk because if the loss of the VWAP, you stop out. You don't have to give it very much room. And now you've got big orders at 238 and 240 on Tesla. Damn. Well,
Yeah, Bitcoin is 91,000 US dollars going up.
so is that where Bitcoin is now?
91,000 USD.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Tesla looks like it wants to go back to the high of the day and stop me out, but TSLL is still in there. Let's see if TSLL can go a little bit higher. Qs
Yeah,
is still grinding.
I think we're going to 238. 238 looks definitely possible.
Any question, guys, about the trading that we did? I know you in YouTube, guys, you didn't see that. So Tesla breakout def was 5-minute opinion range breakout. So Matt is asking if PLTR is a good reversal for the VWAP. Let's take a look at the PLTR. I didn't trade PLTR. Brian did, but it doesn't seem that anything today has much of a... Yeah, PLTR is a little bit... I mean, shorting it back to the VWAP is a little bit, I think, tricky now,
Yeah.
unless the whole market rolls over.
Yeah. The market is still strong, so I don't, I don't think PLTR is going to just pull back. We might do a bit of a 920 trade here, where it might pull back to the 20. We're kind of going through the 9 right now, so the 20 is sitting around 94.10. I mean, it's got to get through this 20 EMA before it gets and it's got to go past R3 before it even gets close to the VWAP, which is around 93.20. So I don't see it. I don't see it going there. You just seem to be buyers here. So, but you never know. I mean, right now
Guys,
the
I got to
SPY and
stop
the
that
Q
on
is
NVIDIA.
still positive.
Sorry, I got to stop that on NVIDIA.
Hey, what are you doing? You getting stopped? You're getting out of Tesla? We got back to close to high of day.
Um, Sorry, you asked about my TSLL trade. I think my average on TSLL is 725, so I'm gonna probably be stopping out very soon, which is now hitting my stop loss. Probably need to get a stop out on it. Isn't doing that. Yeah, I think it's kind of. It looks like it's really not a lot of things left in Tesla. Oh shit! Shit. So I'm all out of TSLL. The market seems that it's at R4 SPY. It's kind of seems that
Yeah. Spy, yeah, rated R4. Same with the Qs. We seem to be having a bit of a challenge moving higher here. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to sell off, but probably might get into some sort of choppy price action here. So PLTR is bouncing off the 20 EMA right now on the 2-minute chart. Let's see if it can go back up here. SPY bounced back. Yeah, there's definitely buyers here. You know, these pullbacks are getting bought. The question is, do we have enough buyers here to push the SPY and the Qs higher at this point? We've got to get to 1 million views. Isn't that what we're going for? To do the Tesla?
yeah. So if we get to
Look at this.
a million subscriber, we're gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a Tesla away. But I don't think I don't know. I mean, unless I run ads, I don't think the growth would be things. I mean, our channel really doesn't really have potential to be a million channel that fast.
Looks like we're
Especially not.
breaking out here. Qs and SPY, both sort of at high of day right now. That was a nice little pullback to the 9 EMA on the SPY and the Qs. You can tell we're still in an uptrend. You're just holding that those moving averages. They just keep acting as support.
Yeah, so it was a pretty solid day. I'd actually do a recap. So level 2 and bookmap are a little bit different. I think bookmap is more like historical level 2 visualization. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, bookmap is basically just a pictorial representation of level two. But you also, the nice thing about it is you also get some history as well. Because if you're just watching level two, uh, you can see you can see time and sales, you can see the various levels where bids and asks are, but that all disappears as time goes on. The book map, you can look back, see where things things are going. Kind of use it to read price action too.
Yeah. The question is, any thought on the Hong Kong stock market? I don't know about the other markets, but I don't think any market is as liquid and as volatile as the US stock market. I think I highly recommend people, even international traders, to just trade the US market. If your time zone works for you, I know in Hong Kong would be very late in the evening, but it's just, in my opinion, it's just stick nicely to the US market. There are many ways if you can trade the US market, either open a direct account, track the brokers in almost every country, or just go through these funded programs, funded accounts, like we have it and a lot of people have it. So just try to just benefit from this amazing volatility, because the US economy is super, very equity driven market. Nice, Mr. T.
Yeah, I mean yeah, we have traders. We have traders all over the world. Avi's in Dubai. We have traders
Amen in Russia,
in
Colombia.
who is that? Yeah, in we have in Asia.
We have
Actually, one of
traders
our
even in
traders.
China. Yeah,
Yeah,
Evelyn, she came from
one of our
China to the summit, and
yeah.
I got actually gonna go
Oh, it's
see her
awesome.
as well. She might come. Yeah,
Yeah, I was, and she came to New York when we had the meetup in New York. So amazing. Here we go. Wow.
New York City. Yeah, so this Tesla
Markets,
bastard is gonna go up again.
yeah, markets going up, high of day here.
I am actually going to Uganda, John. I plan to go in Uganda in May. Kenya and Uganda, very beautiful countries over there. Um, um,
Yeah.
no, I've done Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, but I know Kenya and actually my Tesla is going. Kenya and Uganda are very beautiful country next in that area. I like to travel more in Africa. Like when I was growing up, of course, Africa was a mystery continent with war and disease and stuff. But it's not like that. It's actually pretty safe continent. Like maybe Congo
I
is a
think
little
it's
bit like
I think it depends
I
where you
don't know.
go, actually.
I
I
think
think
it's
there's
pretty
some
safe.
areas you
Like I mean,
probably don't want to.
I think Congo is a little bit now bad, but and maybe Sudan, but I think it's pretty safe. Like generally, traveling there's really really safe. Um, but I
Yeah.
know Tanzania was pretty safe, really nice, and Rwanda is amazing, and Morocco is obviously super safe, and um,
Yeah, that's where I want to go later this year.
I think it's poor. Like it's a very poor continent, but it's so different. Like when I was in Tanzania, I was like a completely different planet. Like everything is different. The plant, the tree, the vegetations, and it's like life is really different over there, and I loved it. Um, All right, guys.
All
So
right,
that
I'm
was a
gonna.
pretty good
I think
trading
8 o'clock.
day. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
really, really good trading
decent
day, and
pay.
I might do a recap later. There was a lot of lessons we learned about trade management and really a good entry. And market is slow making highs very nicely. SPY recovered the losses yesterday. Absolutely, it's going to go up. Well, the situation is pretty nice. And yeah, even Meta is recovering, which is really sold off Meta.
Even Meta. Yeah, even Google with their regulatory issues. So,
All
all
right,
right.
well,
Well,
thanks
it
for
just so
handing over the floor. And thanks, you two
yeah,
guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And guys, remember, guys, we're starting the boot camp next week or the first week of May. So the boot camp is the most comprehensive program that we have. That you get to access to another live trading program with Thor and Avi and Megan and everybody else. You know, group mentorship, private, group channel for discussion uh, one-to-one mentorship, one-time one-to-one mentorship. Obviously, it's not every day or every things with captains and team captains. And yeah, I think it would be really nice if you really want to, push it to the next level. This would be one of the really nice programs, and we got a lot of really amazing feedback on people, like at over 90% satisfaction. And a lot of people are actually taking it again and again, so that means a successful program. And of course, you have to put the effort in there. It's not a secret sauce, or it's not an alert service, or it's not something that you come and you follow and you become successful. It's like gym membership. You go there, and the money that you paid is just a commitment to for excellence. Like, for example, today at 11 I have to go to the gym, and it's the same gym. It's very dirty underground with the same guy that has no charm or anything, but I have to go there just to do this, because if I don't pay him $80 an hour, I'm not going to show up. Who wants to go to do this? Like, I don't want to do that. It's like millions way of myself walking out of that gym. So, the money that you're paying with the group that you're going is the commitment. And I mentioned that in my presentation in the summit, that the people who train together as a group, they grow together. Like runners, like Kenyan runners, they're all holding the records. They all run together. Just they're pushing together. That's why it become much better. So that is yeah. So everything is now popping up. So Nvidia, Tesla, everything I got to stop that is just going up.
yeah. I just
And
took a
we'll
one
see
in
you guys.
SPX.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in the afternoon for the Tesla market close. Earning might be a very volatile close. This week is going to be super amazing. And yeah, thanks for your support, guys, and see you
Yep.
very soon
Thanks,
in the
everybody.
chat.
Cheers.
All right, thank you guys. We're gonna switch over to Lenny on YouTube, and then Thor is going to be in a chat. So, Lenny, good afternoon. How are you? Good morning,
Good
actually.
morning, good
Good morning.
afternoon, or for some people, even good evening. How are you doing?
Yes. Good, man. Good. All right, I'll
Awesome.
let you to it. You are live on YouTube and all set.
Good to hear. Hey guys, glad to see you again. Awesome to be here. I'm still taking these hours because Paris is traveling. So I'll be here again today and tomorrow. So let's discuss some price action. Let's discuss the market. Let's all have some fun, right? So if you guys got any questions, just share your questions in the chat. I got my phone here and I see your questions. I think it was a very interesting day. I'm green for the day. I think there was some very interesting price action, some beautiful signals here and there. Some stocks that were trading. I thought the volumes were relatively low in the pre-market, but there were definitely some signs that some tickers, some stocks were trading a little bit different than the rest, right? And then there was also some stocks that clearly showed more strong signals than weak signals. So that's what we traded today. So let's go today through the basically through the whole market, the latest news. Let's take a look at the big tech names. Let's take a look at the stocks that I had on my watch list. And let's run through the price action to see like why I took my entries and why I decided not to take entries in some other tickers and stocks. So first of all, how was your day? What did you guys trade it? And yes, indeed, just as Andrew mentioned, it would be great to see you in the P Capital Bootcamp. I'm also there a group leader, team lead, so you could join my group. We get every week group mentor sessions as well. So some people traded PLTR. Yeah, definitely PLTR showed more strength than the rest. Actually, I also put a PLTR on my watch list. It also felt already in the pre-market more strong. Right? You see, really at a certain point, like the trend already started in PLTR here in the pre-market around 8. Very nice. It's what they call like a bull channel, right? Like a very tight bull channel, tight range to the upside, while the rest of the market was still a little bit hesitant. So I thought, okay, it could be interesting. At a certain point, it was a little bit of a steep pullback before the market opened. So I got some doubts. And then it was actually very weak price action. Very interesting weak price action in PLT directly after the open, right? First candle convincing weak, second candle inside candle closing at the low, third candle selling off closing below high volume, fourth candle coming up rejecting closing at the low below that candle, right? In firm volume, actually third candle had more volume than the second candle. Look quite weak altogether. I was a little bit hesitant because there's no there's no clear catalyst. And I don't like to get in here, you would get in really like pretty late after two big red candles, so I didn't take it. Moved in at 90 cents, but I'm not sure if that would have been enough to reach my target. So definitely PLTR showed some interesting price action after the market open. And then for the rest of the day, for now it has been trending. Not really a smooth trend, but it's moving up. I traded myself two trades. Took two trades. Tesla and a stock that actually had earnings, RTX. And I think Tesla was pretty interesting. I'm actually still in a position. I think like on these days, this market volatility, I think we can expect that if price action moves, it moves further than usual. So I think there's a good risk to reward to just have like a remaining of my position run for a very ambitious target. Because I think the price action could just move more on volatile days. I think it's an interesting day, like it's a bear market. So also like the rallies could be strong. I also think like yesterday, there's a lot of fear in the market everywhere. Like also Andrew said, everybody feel like capitulation everywhere, and it's true. Everybody is fear. There's a lot of fear everywhere, but I think the SPY is still holding relatively well. If you look at the SPY, look yesterday we sold off all day, but we were still way above the year-to-date low from April 7. So market are not so. At least like the SPY is holding quite okay. I don't think there was really new market news today. There's still, of course, no trade deal, no deal. There's going to be some negotiation between the Japanese and the U.S. administration about some currency things, currency issues, which could be part of the tariffs. But for the rest, I'm not sure there was too much information. Of course, there was yesterday the pressure and last week on the Jerome Powell from Trump, but it seems to be that firing Trump is a red line that won't be crossed. So it will just be a lot of name calling and some tweeting pressure. But at least from my understanding, he won't get fired, so he will be able to finish his term until next May. And markets today are moving up. And I'm also very curious to see how the tariff war will develop, right? And of course, the long-term portfolio hurting a little bit, but I think I'm having a lot of fun understanding everything, trying to follow everything, trying to, like create a hypothesis, make predictions about what will happen next, and then see like what instruments are acting differently than we would have expected. So I think the SPY is holding pretty okay. Yields, treasury yield is moving around 4.4, a little bit below 4.4 now. Personally, I think if the yields would have gone up this week a little bit more, there would be some more backing down in the tariff war. Or we're waiting for basically for some tariff deals. Because, yeah, I think some tariff deals would be great for Trump to show something is happening, something's going well. And if not, there might be some backing off necessary soon. But only perhaps if the treasury yield would keep on rising. So yeah, so what did I trade today? So what did I have on my watch list? Actually, I had Apple on my watch list. No, I had not Apple on my watch list. I had AMD on my watch list, but later I added Apple because Apple in the late pre-market squeezed already more than the rest. Right, there was some late pre-market volatility right before the market opened in the SPY. I see that the SPY held strong. Actually, I didn't like Nvidia anymore there because didn't like AMD anymore there because AMD was dropping in the late pre-market. So I thought, okay, that's not the best. But where AMD was doubting, Apple was actually squeezing harder than the rest in the late pre-market, right? We could see like a pattern in the late pre-market. So I thought, okay, I'm adding Apple and I'm removing AMD. Wait, first let me see what are the questions. So first question, how do you approach earning trades? Yeah, that depends on many different things, right? Earning trades, it's basically still the same, right? We get the catalyst, we're looking to see if it's actually really moving, if it's really in play, then we're gonna read the price action, candle for candle. So PLTR is dropping now, somebody asks. Yeah, it's consolidating right now. Okay, so these were the questions. So yeah, so I had Apple on my watch list. I saw the late pre-market squeeze, so I thought it could be interesting. And actually, it was pretty interesting how Apple opened. Apple, the first candle was pretty strong. At first, with the last 2 minutes of the market, before the market opened, strong, right? Breakout, retest, inside candle, and then the first candle after the market open came above, closed above it. So it was strong. Second minute, retesting, closing above it. While at the same time, at that point, the first 2 minutes, the Qs were trading below the open price. Same with SPY was trading below the open price. I already thought, okay, Apple could be interesting. I like to see a little bit more confirmation. And then, of course, the third candle gave a second rejection. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to trade it. But I think like Apple gave some interesting signals, right? Right before the market opened and the first 2 minutes after the open of the market. Then it slowed down a little bit, grinded up. But then there was no entry for me anymore in Apple. At least I couldn't find anything. So AMD, I had AMD in my watch list, but I saw this late pre-market mess, right? This gap down, gap between the candles, falling below VWAP, and the opening range was basically just a mess. Like big wicks, etc. So AMD was also discarded. So what about Nvidia? Nvidia actually looked late pre-market looked okay, but then there was like the weakness. It showed weakness compared with the rest of the market in the first 4 minutes. So I thought, okay, I'm not gonna trade it. I also couldn't see any reason really wide to take it short. So I mean, that was it for NVIDIA today. But then there was Tesla. Tesla was really interesting. Tesla was a beauty today. So Tesla reporting earnings later today. And yeah, one of my mentees already asked me this morning, don't you expect like low volatility in Tesla, right? Before it's like, because we're expecting the earnings later today, but I said it doesn't have to be. We could, there's like so much volume and liquidity in Tesla. Basically, NVIDIA as every morning has the most liquidity, most volume. And then there's Tesla, who has a little bit less liquidity and volume, but always more than 2 million, 3 million in the pre-market. And that can just always give a good setup, right? So the late pre-market was relatively stable, right? Nice trend up, small candle, more or less the same size. Late pre-market held okay. And then what did we see in the second minute? Of course, a very strong candle, completely squeezed candle. First minute opening range, second candle being very strong, completely twice the size of the first candle, really squeezing. At that point, of course, the SPY was still trading below the opening range. Qs were also still trading below the opening range. So that means Tesla gave a first sign of strength. Then we slowed down a little bit, came back up. So I thought, okay, maybe it was just a squeeze. But then we see here suddenly at the price, when we're reaching the pre-market high, an engulfing candle, completely overtaking here, or an outside candle at high volume. So, okay, we might doing something. Then we see like another candle bigger than this candle, increasing in size, increasing in volume, right? Okay, another strong sign. At that point, okay, you might be getting a little bit extended. So then we see an inside candle, low volume. So we really see like another sign of strength. And this candle, again, an outside candle, engulfing candle with high volume. Now I thought, okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? So I entered here for the break of the 5-minute ORB. My entry was a little bit, I really hate this kind of entry, right? Where you want to buy like at the close, but then you get in here, like a little bit above the close of the previous candle and just like messes up the risk to reward a little bit. Stop loss below the previous candle. And then actually the strength continues, right? Breakout candle, high volume, pullback, pretty clean, trend line both sides, top side, bottom side, low volume. Again, a green candle, retesting, holding above it, another breakout candle. So I took my profit there, but then of course got a little bit late, and then I got a decent partial, and now I got 25% left of my position. I'm just letting it run, right? And there were clearly the signals of strength, right, as discussed. And now we're just moving up. I got maybe quite an ambitious target, but I think like on these wild market days, there's a higher probability of crazy volatility, and therefore perhaps the risk to reward is okay to letting it run further. I think that was Tesla today. Right, so what we could call like a 5-minute opening range breakout setup, right? But I think we want to read all the candles and everything together, also late pre-market, and then the 5-minute ORB is 5-minute opening range is simply the structure that we give to it. Because in the end, we're reading all the candles, right? Second candle, big squeeze. Really a strong sign. Pulling back, pre-market high, engulfing outside candle, etc., right? The other candle bigger than the breakout candle, bigger in size, higher volume than the first candle, inside candle, outside candle. And then it looked quite okay, right? And at that point also there was a lot of room left on the ATR. Price action moved intraday from 229.70 to 233 something, which is $4 in a stock with an ATR of $20. Of course, there's a lot of room to move. So let's see how Tesla will develop. Right, and there was also another trade that I took. I think it was it was actually a losing trade. I still, I'm okay with it. It's just like these type of smaller, lower liquid stocks are just hard to trade. So I had a bunch of them on my watch list. All they had old earnings: Verizon, Triple M, RTX, Teva, GE, DHR, NVO. But I would only trade them if they would be really perfect. And I think RTX looked okay. So the gap down a lot. Pre-market closing week. First candle, okay, strong green. Second candle, closing above it. Third candle, okay, pullback candle. Fourth candle, decreasing volume. Fifth candle, closing above it. So I thought, okay, for the 5-minute OB could be. I try to avoid these lower liquid stocks nowadays, but I thought all in all, each candle looked relative strong, and also there was a huge gap down, so I thought it could be okay. Tight stop loss here below. My stop loss, yeah, more or less below the. I think it was below the previous candle, but then it didn't. This one didn't work out, and that's perfectly fine, right? Just another time the confirmation that if I trade these lower liquid stocks, first of all, of course, you need to have a big catalyst, and the price action needs to be. Then the price action needs to be really clean, and I think it was okay. Okay, price action. So I'm happy and satisfied with my trade, right? And don't forget, the risk to reward in this setup, I think, was pretty good. Right, huge gap down, close the pre-market at the low, right? So there's a lot of room to move because like you're coming all the way from the lowest position. And there's also a lot of room on the ATR left, like 114.34, basically $2 with an ATR $5 with earnings. So we only moved $2 from intraday. So there was it could make like stocks like this, they could even like go all the way to 122. I'm not sure, of course, if I would have held all the way to 122, but these are good risk to reward setups. So these were my setups of today, my trades. So what else I had on my watch list? I had Verizon on my watch list. Verizon actually, showed like late pre-market strength. Then we see this. Yeah, second candle also looks strong, right? Completely squeezing the first candle. But then third candle smaller in size, and we're extended. Then we showed a lot of choppy price action, so it's not longer for me. But yeah, Verizon could have perhaps set something up with Triple M. Also earnings very messy. Looked like a mess after the market opened. Some gaps between the candles. So RT actually traded. I had Tev on my watch list, but also low liquid, right? Also looks a mess, like a lot of overlap, gaps between the candles. So I think it's always definitely best to stick with the Magnificent 7 plus AMD MU, and then more or less one or two stocks that are really in play. GE also not really clean. EHR, NVO on my watch list. Nah, also not the best. Yes, a move up. Yes, we see some bottoming here in the 5-minute opening. Yes, we're breaking out. Here we see also like a gap between the candles, which is a sign of low liquidity. So never mind that. So basically what I had on my watch list. And actually some of my mentees, they took actually Apple on the close of the second minute. Right? You see, like we discussed before, the late pre-market was strong. Late pre-market was stronger than the rest. Breakout holding above it. Second candle retesting, closing above, more or less above the 1-minute opening range. At that point, we were way stronger than the rest of the market. So they took it. Stop loss below the opening range candle because in the idea that it could move further, right? And the Apple is also still moving. So there were definitely some solid clues in the price action today. Some stocks trading independent. But I found it pretty hard this morning to find really stocks in play. Lots of volume was not that high. Also, no individual catalyst. There were also no clear market catalyst. Catalyst, of course. There were no individual catalyst, no market catalyst. Yes, so interesting day in the books. So let me see if there are questions. So what's your red vertical line and horizontal line box? That's like my target in Tesla, you mean, right? I I just have a remaining 25% of my position I got left, and it's like here's my entry, so I have it like at break even, and I got like a very ambitious target 242, and if not, I just sell it at the close. I just think there could be some additional volatility would make the risk to reward good. Just experimenting a little bit with it, right? Because I think in the financial markets, risk to reward is very, very important, right? You can be, we are wrong regularly, right? But if we're right, we should be right very, very well. That's also, I think, in life, right? We want to make like a lot of mistakes. Fine, we should make a lot of mistakes. But then if we're having the success, or if we dump something going well, it should be, we should try to maximize it and have it really, really well, right? And that then we can afford also the mistakes and the small losses, right? So another question, what makes you get out of your full position when your trade goes in your direction, or do you partial along the way, let it come back to break-even point? It depends on the price action. It really depends on many different variables involved. I definitely don't take a partial before 1.3 R, 1.2, 1.4 R, and then it really depends on many circumstances. I think having like a steady R target, I think like if we're taking entries based on price action, right, we should also adjust our partialing strategy based on price action, even though that's of course very, very hard and not doable at the beginning. So another thing, thank you again for your class last Thursday. Yeah, you're very welcome. May 1st, there's going to be another webinar for Trading Terminal. And somebody says MSTR makes my day, great profit. Yeah, the Bitcoin is hot, right? It's like markets seem to have been fleeing the US markets, right? Dollar down, bonds down, treasury yield up, and then Bitcoin as a non-dollar asset has been showing a lot of strength, and I guess that could translate into the Bitcoin stocks as well. I was looking at the Bitcoin stocks this morning. I didn't really find them particularly looking strong, but I see now big double-digit numbers up. So yeah, they actually showed strength. Oh yes, this is strength, guys. Especially because the rest of the market wasn't doing so well after the first 5 minutes. MSTR, wow, nice bottoming here. Right, second candle, MSTR also squeeze candle. The same as we saw in Tesla, it's a very strong sign. You see, first candle, okay, red. Of course, the pre-market closed strong in MSTR. Opening range, selling off. Second candle, squeezing big volume. It's a strong sign. There we see the bottoming, and we're grinding up further. Not so sure that I would have entered there, could be. Opa, Mara, also interesting price action, right? Look at the increasing size of the candles in the first 3 minutes, increasing volume. Then we see something that we call like an, how do we call it? It seemed to be like an outside price contraction, right? Candle, outside candle, outside candle. And then moving up further. Low volume in the red candle. Interesting price action. What did Riot do? Our other crypto name, also interesting. Look at the first 3 minutes. Firm candles, third candle bigger than the second candle, high volume. You know, I wouldn't have traded because it's below $10. But that looks very, very strong at the open. Same with Netflix. What a beauty. I didn't have it on my watch list, but poor. With the first couple of candles in Netflix. Increasing size, third candle, increasing size candle, increasing volume. Of course, they had the catalyst. Daily chart was strong. Catalyst, at least like was last week, the earnings. I think there was some scalp possibilities. Right, and here also later the high of the daybreak. Even though there's a small gap between the candles. Yes. Just now pulling back a little bit. Let's just check if there's a little bit of news. So congratulations, Elohim, that you had Great day with MSTR. Nice price action. AMD. Yeah, AMD is garbage today, but you could already see like at the end of the pre-market, just gapping down, selling off, while the rest of the market was strong. Then I would not like to trade it long anymore. That little bit of elevated volume this morning, so I thought, okay, perhaps could be interesting in a day where there was not too much in play. So let me check if we got some new headlines. So what do we see here? That Meta could be hit hard by the tariffs because companies like Temu and Shine, they buy ads on the platform of Meta and they might not do that anymore, right? So they will lose that income. So therefore, I think the Meta also got hit relative hard since the very strong move up. Right, what did Meta do from the high of the year? 735, now trading it a little bit below 500. Yeah, it's a significant move down. What a trend, by the way, today in Meta. Didn't see it. Right, see the first trend down and now big trend up, even though now we're forming a range. Interesting. So what else is the news? Not so much. Of course, we had the news that China is looking to strengthen relationships this morning with Europe and also with Japan in an answer to the terror war. For the rest, I think it was a pretty calm day. We're all looking forward to the Tesla earnings. At least I'm looking forward. Do not have a clear plan yet for the earnings. What does the daily chart look like? Yeah. Got like a level below, right? The year-to-date low. Price action bounced a few times from it. Perhaps if this earning report is going to be really bad, we could break through it and we could make like an additional move down. If it's going to be really good, perhaps because we could break the trend line because price action has been a little bit contracted. Then it should be really good. Very curious to hear what he's going to say about the robotics. I also want to get a robot. I'm not a more materialistic type of guy. I really don't care about it all. But a robot I want. It would be really funny to have a robot, you tell, hey, please, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And he just does it. Even like a self-learning robot, right? Because these robots probably going to be driven by AI. So they're able to learn. Just hope that one day the robot won't kill me if the robots are taking over. So I see some questions. Eric, hello. I'm looking to go for Tesla to go to 241.16. Would be nice. Would be nice. Probably there's a level there. That's the reason why you got a specific number. Yeah, let's see. Tesla could move up. I think it depends also like what the rest of the market keeps on trending. Just let's see. It's all probabilities. So my webinars are available on Trading Terminal for free users. No, my webinars for Trading Terminal are not recorded. If you got any question, you can always send me a mail, lenny@pcapitaltrading.com. So somebody said the chances of getting killed by a human is 100 times higher than a robot. Yes, that's true. But the big founders, the big fathers of the AI, they're all warning about issues that could come from AI, right? And of course, robots will be linked to AI. Like Sam Altman, he's really from OpenAI. Of course, he always was very motivated by creating safe AI systems. He's now getting a little bit accused of that he got corrupted by the success and now wants to make it more of a profitable company. Then this other guy, right? The previous CTO from OpenAI is Ilya Sutskever. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He's I think he's also now starting a new company. He's very, very, very warns a lot about the risk of AI. And then, of course, the guys from Google Mind. What's his name again? Mustafa Suleiman, I think, also warning a lot for AI. So I think there's definitely some risk, you know. Let's see. I was really curious to see how Google's gonna do with the earnings later this week, right? Of course, Google got hurt a lot. Market is afraid that ChatGPT is disrupting the biggest source of revenue for Google, right? The Google search. And that, of course, that makes sense, right? ChatGPT is growing an incredible pace. But also, Google is also one of the AI leaders. But the question is, are they able to? It's a lot of competition in AI, and are they capable of innovating a lot to compensate? If they can innovate a lot with AI, that they can compensate for the probable lost revenue that they will get from the Google search that is taken over by ChatGPT. But Google is really one of the AI leaders. We also have a lot of products where they're trying to add their AI. And they feel like a lot of products where they can leverage their AI skills, right? If you use the Google Cloud products, etc., etc. So let's see how that will develop. Really curious to see about the Google earnings later this week. First, we're gonna get Tesla today. So Ben says, yeah, it will be nice to have a robot do the course around the house, though. Yes, for sure. Definitely. ChatGPT is bugged and slow. Okay, I didn't see any issues with ChatGPT, but it's also like they're growing at such an incredible pace. You know, I heard like that in a couple of weeks or something, they like almost doubled their necessary compute, or they doubled their activity. So it's going really fast, right? And they also got limited access to the necessary chips. So it's also hard. The thing is improving. I think ChatGPT is also like still improving each time. It's getting better and getting better. All right, interesting. Yeah, I think you do very well that you like use different kind of applications, right? Really try to see what works for you. I think, you know, like the future can be very, very AI driven. It's best to already make the leap and see how you can apply it everywhere. Because they say the two types of people, right? One type that doesn't know like how much it's gonna change, and some people already know that it's gonna change everything. And it's better to be already making the leap. So I think the volatility now is a little bit over. We're pulling back a little bit in the SPY. It's now waiting for the next headline. What headline will be coming out, or what economic data, or will there be a tariff deal out soon? Or will there be like a little bit of a back off? Oh wow, Amazon, look at this downtrend. Look like a nice trend in Amazon. You see like the firm volume. Candles are a little bit inconsistent. But this is of course a trend. AMD below the opening range. Nvidia just rangy today. Tesla still at the high of the day, more or less. You see Tesla holding better compared with the rest of the market. So it really seems to be that Tesla's trading a little bit more independent compared with the rest, and also with more relative strength. Looking at the tech names, Tesla clearly the strongest with 4.9% up. VZ holding well. Yeah, so interesting. The crypto names, the Bitcoin names were strong today. Double digit up in Mara and Riot. It makes sense. I think gold was, of course, the big winner last couple of weeks, but I think Bitcoin also showed again that it's holding relative strong, still above the all-time high before the election day. I noticed. Oh, that's interesting, Ben. So you say that people just saying please and thank you is already costing them millions in wasted server use. Yeah, I can imagine. It remains a big problem for AI, right? The compute. Therefore, the volatility caused by DeepSeek that apparently, allegedly or not, did it in a way more effective way. But if you look at understand really little bit how these LLMs work, these large language models, then you know there's really a lot of computing power and it's needed. They're all working on chips, right? NVIDIA, the big tech names, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they're all working to get their own chips. Let's see about how this chip from Huawei, the Chinese company, how that will work out. So what do you think about ChatGPT bots for stock strategies? Yeah, could be. I think I'm not sure about ChatGPT, but I think AI could be very, very, very relevant. Not really sure yet. I didn't apply it myself yet, but I think there should be very, very, because it's about connecting variables, right, to predict further variables, right, to predict further movement, and that's how these LLMs work, right? They're assessing a database and trying to predict the next letter and the next letter, right? And we are reading candles to predict the next candle. So I think in theory there should be a application for it. So if something is dumping the queues, Tesla standing still. We could see if there's any kind of news going on. Let me see my X or Twitter. No, I don't see anything new. But there could also be something else, of course. Media, but it could be. So Sunday, I use scheduled ChatGPT task to send me a watch list each morning based on overnight news, pre-market every day. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. That's these applications, right? We need to try on error to find it. And it is a good question. How do you do that on a schedule? Yeah, with regard to AI, like the risk. I heard like a nice example, it's like same with how we humans live with animals, like we don't hate animals, if actually like we even love animals, but build like a road between two cities, we're not gonna ask the animals for permission, right? The same is with AI and humans. AI won't hate us, but perhaps if AI needs to do an objective, they're not gonna ask us permission. They're just gonna do it, right? And that's like where the risk of AI lies. At least what they say. I'm not an expert. What's happening in the markets? Yeah, just low, slow volatility. So yes, tomorrow we'll all be looking at Tesla in the market open, that's for sure. I'm every day looking already at it, but now tomorrow in the pre-market for sure. Sounds actually very interesting that you can do tasks on a schedule. It's cool, right? Especially like it's gonna be soon like more multi-model. If you can like connect like Alexa, like a box to it, and that they can even like after waking up, like they can already pronounce it to you, that you don't even have to read it. All developments happening left and right. We just had the first marathon for robots last Sunday. Yeah, price action is moving slow right now. This is not my style, right? I'm a momentum trader. I trade the first 30 minutes, looking for momentum, looking for volatility, and then reading the price action. Reading all the subtle clues of strength and weakness in stocks in play. But right now, there's not a lot of momentum anymore. Yes, and indeed, you already use it to create a meal plan with groceries and sends a full weekly plan. Yeah, but next step is that actually it will also order it, right? That it knows already your credit card details and it even orders it for you. And that could. It's also, of course, interesting for the fintech industry. What could be a good solution, a payment solution, next payment solution to connect like these orders to actually like pay it make the transaction in a very safe way. Yes, the next step is the robot cooks it. I really want to get a robot. So I want to hear what the latest developments will be this afternoon. What Elon Musk has to say about it. 30K, yes. Funny, right? Like I know people. I have a girl I know. She said that told me, like when I used to ask dating advice, I would ask my friends, but nowadays, for dating advice or like anything advice, relationship advice, you just need to ask ChatGPT. So it's really taking over even that part. And then soon you have a robot that can even will people give like the best relationship advice, and it even also might be able to show empathy. And then I wonder, like to what extent people will be able to build, like a relationship with a robot. Because how much there will be like empathy or sympathy, and how will the AI be able to adjust to it again? Somebody said the movie Her. I'm not sure if I've seen it actually. Yeah, the thing is, AI will fake empathy very well, but sometimes the question is like how, even if it's fake empathy, like our biology might still respond to it, right? Because, for example, let's say, because our body is still has the reflex of responding to certain kind of empathy types. It's the same, like if you go like to this, how do you call like this escalators that are like moving electricity, right? Like if it's standing still and you want to get on it, it's standing still, but you're getting on it still, like you feel your body rebalancing to it because it's used to, if you're getting on one of these escalators, it'll just keep on moving. So the question is, fake empathy might still as an effect on our, also creating a effect on our affect, right? On our how we feel it. So yes, we're gonna see it happening. Right? It's the same. Like I got like a little godson, and it's really interesting. Like we all are known living in a world where we are actually smarter than computers, right? Of course, computers can do processing tasks better than us, but we're still smart. We're still in control of the computer. We're still smarter than the computers. But these kids who are getting born now, they will be never ever anymore live in a world where we are actually smarter than the computers. So their experience in life is going to be completely different. So Sander, that's interesting. I'm gonna watch it. I think my time is almost up here. Yeah, definitely. It's also interesting, like how Apple is gonna apply AI in their phones, right? In their products. So far, they haven't really were able to really give a very good use case for it. But now what I heard, like there was an idea to put cameras like in their watches and to put cameras in their in the earplugs of Apple, so they can use like right to get the information that could be used for AI. But they're struggling with it, Apple. So yeah, I think my The hour is almost over here. It was a pleasure being here with you. Tomorrow is my another day where I will take over this hour of Paris with you guys. So yeah, let's enjoy Tesla later today and tomorrow. You are all very welcome. More on a B list this morning. Right, it had a gap up, had some volume, but then the late pre-market was already selling off, and then it was just chop in Baba this morning. Some earnings stocks. DHR, all low liquid names. Not a lot of liquidity, not a lot of no nice trends. It's better to stay away from it. Even though I traded RTX myself as well this morning, as discussed. I think it was a decent 5-minute ORB, but slower names just have some risk. So I traded 2 trades today. I took 2 trades, Tesla and RTX. So for now, I'm in the green. Another move up. The MU is actually also relative much up to date, 3.5%. But the daily chart doesn't look like anything. It's low, really moving sideways. It's a spike getting back to the high of the day again. It's not over yet. Bye, people.